How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the TimcastIRL podcast. My name is Tim Pool. Tonight, I am hanging out with the same people I'm always hanging out with.
You know it. Hey, what's up? It's me, Adam Krigler.
Yeah,
How you
it's
doing?
Adam.
Yeah, thanks for showing
And
up.
me, producer Lydia.
Producer Lydia.
Yes. Sour
You now
Patch
have a
Lids.
title.
I
No
do.
longer bearer of burdens.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody? Elon Musk wants to take the red pill. You going to do it? Does anybody even know what that means? Like, when he said it, do they know what it means? I wonder.
I don't think so.
I wonder if Elon
No.
Musk knows what it means.
I'm
Probably
curious, yeah.
We got a bunch of other stories, too. You got to turn that off.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So we also have, apparently, the New York Times thinks that Believe All Women is a right-wing conspiracy that was made up. Yeah, it's one of these days.
That's funny.
Maybe we'll talk about depressed fish. We have a story about depressed fish, too.
I hope we make it to the depressed
We don't always
fish.
make it to
Me
every
too.
single story, but...
You got to remember the depressed fish.
I know, I feel bad.
yeah, so...
My thoughts and prayers go out to them.
So apparently, the first story we have is Elon Musk tweeted, "Take the red pill," with a red flower, which is the symbol of socialism.
Yeah, what?
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if he actually knows what he was tweeting,
I don't think he does.
but boy, did he start
oh my gosh.
a lot of problems, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he could tweet anything and someone's going to get mad about it.
True.
But apparently, his girlfriend, Grime, I don't know,
Yeah, his
Yeah,
woman.
something.
got mad about
Baby
it.
mama.
Oh,
His
she got
Her
mad?
mom got mad about
Oh, her
it.
mom got mad.
Yeah, and then the Wachowski person,
Person? Florbo?
Lily.
Lily,
Mm-hmm.
told Ivanka to F off. Well, we should just do the story. So,
Yeah, let's
all
do
right,
it.
we'll just jump into the story.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, you can jump in the super chat, and we will read your questions to the best of our abilities. We don't always get to everybody, so I see some people are like, "Hey, you didn't read my comment." Let me just tell you guys, okay? And I mean no disrespect, and I really appreciate you're all here, but I gotta look. If we get 700 super chats, it's physically impossible for us to read them. So we do our best. We usually dedicate like a full hour to reading all the comments and everything, but sometimes there's just too many, and people get mad. I can't really do anything about it. We would not be able to read them all, but I do appreciate everybody who gets the super chat in. So, if you want, you can get your super chats in. The sooner you get them in, the better, obviously, because once we start getting later in the show, it gets harder and harder to do. But other than that, hit the like button and just smash it
I just shared.
repeatedly.
Yes.
No, just one time.
I liked it once, but then I shared.
But then you share, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is
That's right,
caring.
Tim.
Yeah.
This is the motto we'll be using.
In order for us to compete with the big major networks, we need your help. We don't have a big marketing budget. We don't have YouTube's algorithmic bump. We just have word of mouth.
We have you.
Yeah, CNN gets to be on the front page, and we don't. So, well, I should say we'll appear in like front page recommendations.
Yeah.
But they have like a dedicated section for like authoritative news that appears on the front page now or something.
We're not authoritative. Give me a break.
We're not.
Whatever.
They don't like us.
Should
They're
we be
mean.
more authoritative?
You can't do anything.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
I don't know. It kind of feels like things are getting better on YouTube, though. We'll see how things play out, because I've been seeing recommendations for more channels lately.
Okay.
And I think what YouTube did early on with recommending nothing but mainstream media, I kind of feel like that wasn't their long-term goal. I think it was like an emergency move, so they could be like, to all the press and all the advertisers, they could go to the advertisers and be like, "Oh, don't worry, look, we changed it. It only recommends mainstream news now. No one will get mad." And then what they did was they used that time to purge tons of channels.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they
they
purged
wiped
a
out
bunch.
tons of
Yeah,
channels.
we know a few people, right?
Yeah.
We
That's
do.
true.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did a
Point.
video about it too.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then after that, they slowly started putting recommendations back for channels that they've vetted.
So we've been officially vetted.
Maybe. Well, actually, yeah, no,
I'm
no,
putting
we
it
are.
into the air. We made it.
We are. This is crazy.
Thank you,
So,
everybody.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, they started the whole
It's 'cause of you.
they started the whole demonetization thing, where it's like you started getting the icons.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody would default demonetized. It's like you put a video up, people would be like, "Why am I? This is ridiculous. What's going on? I'm losing all my money." Now most people default monetize. Yeah, I think they're now comfortable. They've taken enough steps.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is great news for us, because all of our content now defaults to monetized position.
Yes.
Even some of our raw streams where we've been swearing.
I know.
Yeah, just
shocked.
monetized.
Swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Funny.
I think it's not just about whether or not you follow the rules.
Yeah.
It's whether or not YouTube thinks they have nothing to worry about.
They think you follow the rules.
Yeah.
No.
Basically.
Kind of.
Same
Even
thing.
if
You have
you
a
break
Same thing.
Yeah.
it's if you break the rules, but they're like, yeah, but the IRL podcast is so milk toast. It's like when it comes, it is
I guess.
That's okay.
rational centrist.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
us.
When it comes to cultural issues, we're like, we don't swear. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah,
we do
yeah.
swear a couple times, they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we can typically tell the advertiser.
we always follow up a swear with a oops.
Whoops.
Like, oh no, they're gonna.
10 minutes.
Well,
of,
so-
oh,
so-
they're gonna demonetize us.
Yeah.
It's less about the revenue. It's actually about the parents who are like, I have you on when my kids are in the room.
Yeah.
And you know, I actually got an email from a couple people, and it's typically the common idea is you're one of the few channels that I know I can turn on while my kids are hanging out or something.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
like really cool because we can talk politics. But a lot of
They
other
don't have to worry
channels,
about it.
they swear, they insult, they're mean, and it's like they do have to worry about it. So it's for us, they're like, I can just turn it on, I don't got to worry. But for some of the other political commentators, it's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. They go ham sometimes.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
some of
not
them,
even
man.
it's
They're
not
crazy.
even, it's not even about swearing.
Yeah.
It's about like certain ideas where you got to explain to your kids
Yeah.
what some. I'm not gonna even say some of the words.
Well, we did the other day when I said a certain something, and you were
uh,
like, "Oh man,
A bunch of
A bunch of
jerks that are
friends.
forming a large ring where they all handshake each other.
Yes.
A
Great-
circle
great
of mean
picture.
people.
Great picture.
Yeah.
Great
You
mental
painted
image.
there.
Let's get
Yeah.
thumbnail.
Very nice.
Take
So
it.
I do kind of think. So here's what I've heard. I've heard there have been a bunch of channels that got cleared,
Okay.
and then at the last minute, purged.
Oh.
Like YouTube sent them a message where it's like, congratulations, your channel is now cleared for monetization. And then a week later, they were like, you've been banned from the partner program for being harmful.
Dang.
Yeah. But I kind of, I kind of have an idea of like what kind of channels they are, like conspiracy channels,
Yeah.
even not the worst ones, but like any association with conspiracy theory, YouTube is just nuking. No, like you could make a conspiracy theory video, you know, 5 years ago
Okay.
and be totally mainstream today,
Yeah.
wipe you out.
Just because of the past, people can change YouTube.
Yeah, but it's association. We live in cancel culture world, man.
Yeah, it's
Someone's
scary.
gonna-
It's a scary world.
Someone's gonna be like, this person made a video about flat Earth 10
The
years
internet's
ago.
forever.
Yeah, internet's forever, man. And then they come for you, and then boom, you're
Flat
gone.
earthers.
Dude, somebody posted. I saw a bunch of posts on Facebook. It's amazing.
The
Some-
flat Earth thing.
Yeah,
It's
like
pretty
somebody was
crazy.
like,
Gosh.
people are really into it.
somebody was like, they posted this thing where they were like, after watching this video, it's all I need. You guys, you have no idea what you're talking about. You know, what do they call them, like globulists or something?
Oh my gosh.
And like we have a globe right here.
Yeah.
But they posted the link to the video and they were like, you know, debate me. They were like, try and disprove this. So I was like, all right. I played the video, and the dude in the video just made a bunch of claims. It was the weirdest thing. Like he didn't actually have any evidence or
Really?
any data. He was just like, the sun isn't actually that far away, and you can tell because you can see it's the same size as the moon, and that proves it. And I'm like, just like things like that, and I'm like,
Wait.
what? And then the
No,
funniest
they
thing
just
was,
have a perfect ratio. It's pretty cool, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things he said was like, gravity doesn't exist, and this is proven by density. And then he shows like things floating in water, and he was like, different density of objects move up and down. That proves gravity isn't real. And I'm like, that actually proves gravity is real.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite, good sir.
And so it's like, how do you tell someone that density actually proves a whole bunch of theories of physics?
Yeah.
And like how they relate? It's like fifth grade science.
Mm-hmm.
How do you prove to someone who's just like, nope, I watched the video?
Well, I deny science, so I'm correct.
Yeah. You know the thing about like the science, like I believe science crowd,
Yeah.
and like the science is effing awesome, is that everyone just says they believe the science now. And so you'll get one side being like, you clearly don't know anything about the science because the earth is round. And then someone will be like, you didn't even do any research. You just assume it is because I've read the science and the earth is flat. And it's like,
That's true.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
read
man.
the science that proves my point.
Right.
So
Yes,
I'm going to go
Exactly.
with that.
Interesting. Yeah.
that's happening right now. Actually, there was a story that came out about a non-peer-reviewed article that just got released. I think it was from Australia, saying that COVID, they believe, was made, not an accident.
Okay.
And it's like, it's one non-peer-reviewed story. I'm not
So
even,
run
I'm not,
with
I'm
it.
not even gonna, I'm not even gonna bother with it, right?
Right.
But a lot of people do, and they're like, boom, there it is, and like that's enough for them. And so I'll contrast that with a light self-criticism, but also, you know, a differentiated bit. When I talked about the South China University saying that they believed it leaked from the from a lab,
Okay.
that was actually in line with some of the other statements that were made by some politicians about the potential for what had happened.
Right.
And because of the proximity of the bats to the city, that actually sounded like it made sense. But the study was eventually pulled. Now you've got the State Department investigating it, so that sounds like it's plausible. It's also plausible it's possible, I should say, I shouldn't say plausible, that it's manufactured. I just don't think so.
I mean, we also saw. I saw this video of them going into the caves and like straight scraping like poop and like staying in there for days and days,
Yeah.
Right.
like living in the caves. With
They were
these
bringing the bats.
where the bats were living.
know.
It's like, I mean, you could have caught it that way too.
Seems
Who
likely.
knows? You know.
Yeah.
But people want to believe the one story.
Yeah, the one
They're like,
story.
there it is. We've been
The
waiting for it.
unfounded.
That proves it. It's like, well, hold on, man. Look, the U.S. is looking for an excuse
Yeah.
to go after China. I'm sure if they could, they would. Like, the best they can do right now is it was an accident. It's like,
Yeah.
they-
Harumph.
yeah.
Accidents.
China messed this one up.
Whatever.
Harumph.
That's the proof we have. All right, well,
All right.
enough warming up, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Mr. Elon Musk.
Let's talk about
Okay,
it.
All right, here we go.
What does it mean to take the red pill? Elon Musk certainly wants you to. He tweeted, take the red pill. And then strangely, flower. And the flower is what the socialists put in their Twitter names. So
Well, there's no red pill emoji, is there? I don't think there
I
is.
think, no.
Is there? No,
there
I
might be
I
a
don't
pill
think there
emoji.
is.
I think
Yeah, but
there's
it's
a
not
pill.
red.
It's not red. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be red. So I think he might have been just going for the red motif, the red rose.
Poor choice.
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, this is what we get. It's the weirdest thing ever. Ivanka Trump quote tweets Elon Musk, taken.
Wow.
And then Lily Wachowski, one of the creators of The Matrix,
Yeah.
F both of you. You know what, man?
Wow.
What is happening?
This right here summarizes or exemplifies the problem I have with the cultural left.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, there are probably some conservatives who do this similar behavior, but cussing at someone isn't a point about anything.
No, you're right.
It's not an argument.
It's a virtue signal. It's a tendency of the cultural left. It's a virtue signal.
It's screaming no when they announce
Right.
Trump as president.
That's what it is.
That's all I see is that video now.
Yeah.
All
That's
these,
it.
All these
It
people
is.
doing this, just like no.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
It's like, oh, you're just screaming.
What did Ivanka Trump ever do to anybody?
She was the daughter of Trump. I believe that's her
Oh.
crime.
Her main
Whoa,
crime.
Now
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oof.
See, it makes sense.
Sins of the father, you know?
When you look at from a different perspective, it's like, oh,
She's
yes.
part orange, so.
she's
Yeah,
part
she's
orange.
actually really nice. Like Trump, I
She's
get.
quite nice, yeah.
Trump, like, he's a nasty dude. You know what I mean? Like, didn't he actually say, "I'm a mean guy, but I work for you"?
Yeah.
Like, I watch
But he
conservative.
owns up to it at least.
Right.
Exactly.
he's a
He's a
What's the-
business.
what's the
He's a
right
businessman.
word for
They're
it?
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole thing about being a good businessman? You got to be cutthroat. That's how. I mean, how it's
not.
been
It's
anyway.
not. It's not that he's aggressive
Right.
and he's bombastic,
He's
arrogant,
Okay.
and he's like, "I'm a mean guy, but I work for you," and people love it.
Yeah.
he's bellicose.
It's
He's
true.
always ready to fight.
Bellicose.
Yeah.
Now look, I understand why people like Trump. I
Yeah.
understand why people don't like him. But what did Ivanka do to anybody?
Shouldn't do anything.
She's like just smiling and like just doing. I mean, I guess people don't like that she has a clothing company or something or whatever. I don't know. I don't care what. It's the weirdest thing that they're.
Well, didn't he appoint her? What position does she have in
I mean,
the government? Doesn't
yeah.
she have like an important position?
But
I don't
it's
even-
all
I don't even
nepotism.
know.
She
It's
hasn't
all
done
nepotism.
anything with
No.
it. Yeah.
That's a criticism of Trump, though.
Is
Like
it?
that Trump's appointing his family members and putting them in, surrounding himself. But even then, it's like a weak criticism. It's like, dude, people.
Well, I'm not criticizing. I'm just asking.
No, I mean the
if-
other people.
If she isn't qualified though, then she may deserve some criticism also.
But
with
no,
him.
I think it's a criticism of the person who put her in the position she's not qualified for.
All right, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Like, if Ivanka is like, look, if you had somebody whose IQ was 80
Uh-huh.
and they got appointed to some job, you'd be like, why did you appoint this person to this job? You wouldn't go to the person whose IQ is 80 and be like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
I'd
Good point.
talk to them.
Yeah.
But if they're nice to me, I don't know why I'd be mean to them. Anyway, let's talk about what it means to be red pilled, because that's
Yeah.
the big question. So here's the
Enlighten
first
us,
story.
Tim. Enlighten us.
Oh well, just wait, because there's a lot of ways to talk about it. Elon Musk falls foul of his mother-in-law. Is he married to Grimes?
No,
No.
they're not married.
There's no other way to
All
say
right,
it.
So, yeah, how?
Grimes' mom,
Yeah.
of his beau's mom.
His
Sure.
baby mama's mom.
Grimes' mom slams daughter's partner for tweeting right-wing take the red pill meme, accusing him of blaring men's rights activism BS, but he was praised by Ivanka. Okay. I don't think Elon Musk knows what the red pill means.
Yeah.
I think, didn't he actually like tweet about the Matrix?
Yeah,
just
hadn't
right
he just been
beforehand?
watching it?
Yeah, he probably watched The Matrix and was like, "Yes, everyone should like open their eyes.
Because he worries about AI. I know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well, I
know.
mean,
Top
I mean,
marks.
it feels like everyone has different views of what taking the red pill even means.
Yeah, it's
like there's
very
a big
nuanced.
spectrum out there. Think of it like a gender. There's many different genders of red pill.
There
Let's
are.
think
Can
of
I
it
say that?
way. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
right
That's fair.
right now, the dominant idea of what red pilled is basically that you're going to vote for Trump or vote Republican or something.
Okay.
It is a bit nebulous.
Yeah.
Then there's like
But I feel like that's kind of newer. That's like a newer term.
relatively, it's been around for years.
Okay.
But going back even further, the red pill referred to this community of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. The Game. Do you know what The Game is?
Like the movie or
No,
what?
there's a book called The Game.
No, I don't
and it's
know.
about how men can pick up women and the ways they have to act and the things that women want.
Okay.
And the red pill community was about, like, here's what you need to do to actually understand the desires of women or
Okay.
something like that. I'm probably getting the general philosophy wrong because the media always does, for sure. They call it men's rights stuff. It's not. I think the closest you can get to it is it's an online community of people who study various various bits of evolutionary psychology as an effort for dating.
Okay.
And you can criticize them, you can compliment them, whatever you think. I don't care. The point is just like an accurate description. It's called the red pill. And then the general idea of what the red pill always was just waking up.
Yeah, I mean, I first heard the term in, 1999 when The Matrix came out? When I watched The Matrix, I went and saw it in the theaters, blew my mind. I was like, this is one of the best movies ever. It's like taking the red pill, opening your mind, revealing the truth,
Yeah.
finding out what's really going on.
And that's still kind of what it's supposed to mean.
That's what I always,
But
that's
so
how
does,
I take it also.
So does woke.
Getting woke.
Yes. They mean literally the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's altered though way faster than the red pill.
So
that steered way left really fast.
No. The left calls what their awakening wokeness. Like when you
True.
finally learn about male privilege and white privilege, now you're woke. You've awoken to, the truth.
Yeah.
And it's funny because being red pilled, a reference to the Matrix, is essentially the same thing, but the truth is different.
Yeah, but getting woke is like realizing that and then falling flat on your face. It's like,
Yep,
oh,
pretty much.
you're woke now.
No, I think
you
like
just fell on your face.
it's taking the blue pill.
Maybe it's mixing them and then
No.
not realizing what's happening.
And then tripping, and your
Tripping
eyes are
and
like
falling.
bugging out, and you're like,
yeah,
"What's
maybe.
that?"
That's kind of what
Half
I'm
in,
leaning
half
towards.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
That could explain it, actually.
No, just going too far. Like, oh, now I know everything, so I'm gonna take over the world.
No,
Like,
no, I
that's
think
what it feels like.
One way you could
Getting
describe
woke,
it
I mean.
is if you
Yeah.
took both pills, they'd both be counteracting yourself, so you'd be half in and half out, so your perception would be all warped and twisted.
Or nothing would happen at all, and it would just. Oh, so
No,
this
I'm
is
just
just
saying,
a dream.
like,
Okay.
one way to describe wokeness is that they've got, half cocked, brainless ideas.
Yeah, that's
that were
true.
like someone just wrote one day and then published, and everyone's like, I'm gonna say that's true, and it's like
Actually,
not
that's
true.
really good. That's perfect. It's basically taking both because they're nitpicking and choosing what's perfect for
Right.
their battles and then like ignoring
they-
other things. Where the red pill is like, I'm accepting all of the truth.
Right. No matter
Better
how hard
yet,
it
Everything's
is.
being revealed.
Yeah.
Better yet, one way you
Yeah.
can say it is that when they take both the blue and the red pill, they do wake up, but their brain is still halfway attached to the fake reality.
Yeah.
So they're in the real world saying things that make no sense.
Yeah.
Making
And you're
straw
like,
men.
where? And because they have this parallel alternate dimension in their brain where they're like,
Or they're still connected to the Matrix, maybe.
Yeah, half
Yeah.
connected.
They're like,
ooh.
oh, this is a weird world. I'm going to close my eyes again.
I'm telling you, I see a giant green fairy monster. You need to understand the power. And you're like, that's not real.
That is
Yeah.
not,
Your brain is not
there.
in reality.
Yep.
So now I think for the most part,
And they went broke.
red pill kind of just means that it for the most part means like you understand the lies of the media
Yep.
and the establishment, but it basically implies you're voting for Trump or like you're overtly, on board with the Trump train or
Yeah.
Republicans or whatever.
Okay.
Like a good example is how people keep saying, Tim, take the red pill. And it's like, I don't understand what that's supposed to mean in the context of me constantly telling you the media is lying to you.
Right.
Like
If any-
every
if
single
anyone
day.
that I've known, you would have taken you've had the
could you
red
be
pill.
more-
You eat the red pill for breakfast, as far as I'm concerned.
But what a lot of Trump supporters say is that I'm a dealer. I don't take my own supply.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that what it is?
I like that. It makes sense.
I worked
That's funny.
I worked for these companies, man. I've watched them lie. I've watched them fail. And so I was watching the media lie. And so I left and I'm like, hey, guess what? The media's lying. And then it turns out that much of the media's lies lines up with Democrats' narratives. It's the
they work together.
but it's the establishment. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So the establishment Republicans, a lot of them retired. Some of them are still there. But for the most part, Trump booted them out, brought in a bunch of new people. And so the establishment right now is just the remnants of the Democrats and their media cohorts. And it's obvious. Jacobin magazine, which is the socialist magazine, wrote an article saying Democrats were spreading Russian propaganda. That's the truth. And I'm like, it's so weird to see the socialists and the Trump supporters in agreement on what's really happening.
Yeah.
Like that's waking up. That's the red pill. You can have horrible political ideas, but you understand you can understand the underlying truth of reality, the objective reality. That the media lied the whole time, that Russiagate was fake. It's all nonsense. So that's why I think for the most part it's a reference to colloquially for these people, you are on board for Trump. You're wearing a MAGA hat. You're totally on board. Not necessarily. It could just be that community.
Okay.
But I think for the most part, you can just say this red-pilled is the cultural right and wokeness is the cultural left. So
it seems that way, yeah.
For Elon Musk, he basically just told the world, join the culture war on the right. That's what he basically said, whether he realizes it or not.
That's
well,
amazing.
he's been ragging on all the Democrats for a while now.
Well, they've been given a hard time.
Yeah,
Give him a hard
yeah,
time
absolutely.
in Alameda County, right?
That's why I can say it. I don't know if he knows what he's actually saying. Maybe he does, because he's wants to leave California. Yeah. He's getting attacked by Democrats. That Lorena Gonzalez woman who said "F you," and he said message received.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like, take the red pill.
Fine.
F these people.
It's I don't see why he wouldn't leave California.
Didn't he say take both?
It doesn't make sense.
Oh no, it's right here. Yeah, he's like, when you take Dayquil and NyQuil at the same time, did you seriously just take both pills? What the fuck? Oh, I just swore. Great, now we're in trouble.
No.
WTF is wrong with you?
Well, there you have it, everyone.
Now was.
Oh wait,
sorry. Just start swearing,
oops.
everybody.
Oops.
Oops.
I did say earlier that we followed up with an oops.
Oops.
So,
I know where to find it. No worries. I'll fix it. Fix it in post.
So the next thing that happens is we have Lily Wachowski. We have stories getting written about it. The director was infuriated by social media banter in which Musk and Trump tweeted about the red pill. Why?
It is banter.
Why?
I don't get it.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Why do you care at all?
If Lily Wachowski shared a skate video of mine, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
F you, don't share my skate videos from a long time ago.
Harumph.
Why would I care?
This is a
be like,
classic
oh,
case of virtue signaling.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
It's serious.
Yep. They
Lily,
Florbo
yes.
wants a little piece of the action. That's what I see
Yeah.
there. That's
That
all I
makes
see.
sense. I'm relevant again.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
a woman.
They're referencing the Matrix.
I want a piece
better-
of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are
Royalties.
two famous people that are out there. Boom. Let me get a piece.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it gets better.
Oh, great.
How could it get better?
Oh my god.
From the New Statesman.
Oh no.
Why we should be worried that Ivanka Trump has taken the red pill.
Oh, come on.
The U.S. president's daughter has confirmed that she, in common with others on the political fringes, denies widely accepted truths about society.
What?
Dude, Donald
Oh,
Trump...
I can't wait to hear what they have to say about this.
Wait. Donald Trump tweeted a video several times now of
Okay.
a reporter in Long Island who was getting yelled at by
Oh,
Trump,
yeah.
by
Yeah,
Trump
I
supporters
remember
saying you're
this.
fake news.
Uh-huh.
And CNN, Brian Stelter, writes this article about what happened. And the opening line is something like, I've written a lot about far-right radicalization, but this video exemplifies it better than anything. I'm like, wait, you mean a bunch of suburban Long Island middle-aged individuals complaining about media lying is far-right?
Yeah.
If they're coming out in uniforms preaching about traditionalism and a free market, I might consider that far-right.
Right.
But these are just regular people holding signs saying you're fake news or whatever.
Yeah.
And CNN's like, they're far. So these people are so far left. The meme is that they're all the way in the far left. So everything to the right of the the
Anything
authoritarian
that
far
isn't
left
them, basically.
is far right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
When you're so far left, moderate is fringe.
She didn't. Here's the best part, right?
Seriously.
Sarah
dude.
Manavis, this woman who wrote this.
Okay, Sarah.
This is such a great example of fake news. What is this? What truths has she not accepted simply by saying the word taken?
Yeah.
She may have just been like, "Woohoo, it's a meme, it's funny, we're in the Matrix," and she might have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
But they write based off one word taken that it means everything. Oh, it's alt-right. Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Ivanka admits it.
It's already too much.
Here's what she writes. On Sunday afternoon, just days after the birth of his 7th child, the billionaire technology entrepreneur Elon Musk tweeted to his audience of 34 million followers to take the red pill. The term is popular in internet communities such as the alt-right and the manosphere.
Is that an internet
What is
community?
a manosphere?
What if-
So
what if-
confused.
That's
What is
that's
that?
what I was talking about earlier. The
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The people that
Right.
the traditional men.
kind
thing.
of.
what you were
Manosphere
saying.
is a different thing.
Okay.
But what if I said, take the red pill? The term is popular in internet communities that are big fans of the Matrix.
Right.
I could frame it that way too.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly manipulating people because, well, it is.
Right.
The red pills are a reference to the Matrix. Neo is offered the choice between the blue pill and the red pill, blah, blah, blah. The phrase has come to mean rejecting widely accepted truths. No, it doesn't. Particularly those that relate to equality between races, genders, and social groups.
What?
No, it doesn't.
Nope.
Way to slap that in there.
Yeah,
Seriously,
right?
just slip it in.
She's like, I'll
Whoa,
just make all
whoa,
of this stuff
whoa
up.
now. Calm it down over
Like
there.
a pill. Yeah, you know.
Choosing an
You
alternative.
slip in pills? What?
Slip in.
Slipping people's stuff.
Moving
All right,
on.
let's
Scott.
read.
Moving on.
Choosing an alternative narrative about society. Such narratives lean, in many cases, towards racism, misogyny, and other highly controversial beliefs. While this is not true of every single person who would consider themselves red-pilled, the members of pretty much every alt-right group that you might have heard of, incels, neo-Nazis, eco-fascists, will often consider themselves to have awakened in this way to their fringe theories and socially unaccepted beliefs. Awakened, literally the word woke references you in the exact same thing you're talking about. Also, alt-right groups include eco-fascists?
That was my question.
What is that?
What?
What are eco-fascists? I
Like-
mean, I know who they are,
Like
but
the Earth
what?
Liberation Front? They're
Yeah,
not
the
alt
elves.
right.
The
What?
Earth Liberation
Oh
Front.
my gosh.
Maybe they were playing Final Fantasy VII.
I don't know what they're doing. Holy cow, they're on
Yeah.
something.
There's some eco-terrorists in
So
there.
then she tells us what is this? Who cares?
This is nonsense.
Oh my god.
This is the best part.
She's lost me.
I love this. It's such a good example of how fake news works. All Ivanka did was say taken.
One
Yep,
word.
That's it.
There's
Trigger.
a red rose there.
Trigger
was it a
queen.
red pill about being a socialist maybe? I could argue
Who
that.
knows? Or
So-
that she heard that taking the red pill means you voted for Trump, and she's like, "Well, of course I did. Take
Or
it."
daughter, yeah.
Or she just
Done.
thought of a reference to the Matrix and didn't know what it meant.
True. Boom.
And so here's what we get. Ivanka Trump's tweet suggests that the Trump children are familiar with and perhaps sympathetic to some of the more radical internet communities.
Oh my goodness.
It's not the first time the Trumps have employed the language of the alt-right. Is that still a thing? Like, are they still trying to do this, the alt-right?
They're still trying.
Donald Jr.
I think it's the left trying to convince everybody that they
That the
still are
alt-right
around.
exists.
I mean,
Well, no, the
I'm
alt-right
sure,
exists.
I'm sure they're still around. Yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm
But,
talking
like,
about the media.
This all I'm seeing so far is her trying to convince the group around her that everybody that isn't left with them is alt right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what this seems like.
Fringes. Yep.
Donald
Wow.
Jr. has liked and retweeted controversial internet figures, such as Mike Cernovich and Alex Jones.
Whoa.
Oh!
Ooh.
While Eric Trump infamously used the anti-Semitic internet term shekels
What?
in an
I
interview
don't-
on Fox News.
I didn't even hear
it's
about
literally
that.
a reference to Israeli money.
Isn't
Oh
that
my-
what it is though?
Yeah, it-
Shekels.
Yeah.
But that's all it's ever been. Hints, clues. You watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
In Rick and Morty, they go to a bar where they have schmeckles.
Schmeckles.
Gosh.
Is Rick and Morty giving alt-right dog whistles?
Don't give them that
Maybe.
idea, Tim. Oh my gosh.
Well, now that they heard it from
from
the
here,
source.
heard it here first.
Shekels.
Gosh.
Wait,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
this is ridiculous.
no. Does it go
Subreddit's
on?
4chan, blah, blah, blah.
It goes.
Oh my god.
This tweet from Ivanka suggests no, it suggests nothing. She said the word taken. We have no idea what she meant, what it means. We can assume a lot of things. But you wrote, what is this, 500 words?
pretty impressive.
About your interpretation of the alt-right and eco-fascism based on her saying the word taken.
She's got to earn her money.
It's ridiculous. This is insane. She's throwing 4chan in there. She probably put
Eco-fascist.
everything's in there. She probably anything that she could shove into this to like paint
You got
the
to pat
picture.
it. Got to make the right length.
Yes,
I'm
all
just
of 'em.
imagining
Yeah.
she's like,
Wow.
she's in the writing kitchen, just like smiling, and like sprinkling in alt-right. And they're like, what you making? She's like,
Different spices.
Ivanka tweeted one single word, so I'm just going to mix all of these things together and then, I don't
See
know.
what happens.
Put it in the oven, see what comes out.
We'll get some clicks.
I'm gonna call it the woke pie.
Look at
That'd
this.
be nice. Yeah.
Her capacity to normalize dangerous, offensive, and willfully perverse ideologies
Oh.
should not be underestimated.
Oh, that's
Simply
dangerous.
by using their language, she takes what belongs on the murkier corners of the internet and gives it the presidential seal of approval. This is
I applaud
awesome.
this. It's amazing.
I am jealous of they get to write this stuff.
It's funny.
You know what, man?
Paid to do this?
Look at her picture. She loves herself too.
Oh, wait. She's doing the exact same pose as Ivanka, and I'm here for it.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
gosh, she is.
Exact same pose. Is this some kind of dog whistle?
Whoa,
What
I
am
didn't even
looking
see
at
that
here?
at first.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love it so much.
Did she choose that photo on purpose?
Man, they look
don't know.
alike
They
actually.
actually
It's
do.
kind of creepy.
I'm loving it.
Maybe it's just jealousy.
I think
And
it
like,
might be.
but here's the other question too. Like, what did Melania ever do to anybody? She didn't even say anything.
She speaks like 8 languages. She's like so nice. She's so polished.
But they just really go after her. And the only time you ever see her, she's just like sitting there smiling, like doing nothing.
She's
Yeah.
reading books to kids.
Right.
I don't know.
Like totally.
She made a tennis court.
Did she?
Yeah.
Is that like one of the controversies?
Yes.
No, like
they complained that she like had made plans to put
I'll
a
tell you what,
tennis
man.
court at the White House. It's like,
oh, how
so?
dare she?
this is how
who
you know.
cares?
How very dare
She's
she?
the first lady. She could do that. Like, okay,
And Trump should get the exercise, to be honest.
For sure.
good.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
This is the perfect example of what Trump derangement
Oh
syndrome
my
is.
gosh. Yep.
Like how much they
Truth.
hate Ivanka and she says one word and they make this whole world up about what's really going on, and it's like, I mean, you made all that up, dude.
that
like-
that article was 100% BS.
Yeah.
I
All
know.
made up.
Every single word.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't pull any facts out
No
at all.
sources,
I didn't see
yeah.
anything. It was just we can assume that she did all of this.
I figured it out.
Wow.
Tim
I
figured
figured
it out.
Oh, Tim figured it out. Enlighten us, Tim.
I don't think there actually is a human being named Sarah Menevis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
it is a drawing.
It's a drawing.
It's true.
It's
it
a
does
drawing.
Not look very
This,
real.
in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is an AI designed to write articles.
SJWAI.
Yes. Well, leftists. So what they do is all the words are already pre-programmed in, alt
I
right,
can see it.
eco-fascist.
Eco-fa-
That's why eco-fascist made no sense.
That makes okay.
Because the computer is just mashing words together.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
This seriously feels like
Is it-
every single thing they could have shoved in there, they did.
Are the words dog
Yeah.
whistle in there?
No, I don't. Oh, actually, maybe.
Wait, did they? Type it in. Let's see it.
All right. I want to know.
Nope.
Aw,
no, okay,
What a
alright.
No
bummer.
dog
I was
whistle.
gonna
What
say,
a
that would
bummer.
have sealed it for me.
If she wrote
100%
dog whistle.
robot. Yeah.
Man, this is a. It's impressive. Did you guys read that article from Ben Smith, the New York Times?
No. Oh, I saw you posted it though.
Amazing. Ben Smith wrote a takedown. I'm calling it a takedown. You can't get mad at me. Of Ronan Farrow,
Okay.
pointing out that Ronan Farrow is this hero of not of journalism, I guess. I don't want to point him on any political faction or anything.
Okay.
But he broke the Weinstein story, these big Me Too scandals.
Okay.
And Ben Smith just tore him apart. He was like, in his book, he alleges like conspiracies he can't back up. He makes points, and then Ben's like, I fact checked this. This is not true, and just really tears into him. And he points out that there's this like resistance journalism. I think this is from a previous article he wrote. The resistance journalism, or maybe it's this one, where they're just conspiratorial minded, like they think the worst possible things and they make things up, and it's all narrative driven.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his criticisms, I could be butchering all this, so you really should just check out the article he wrote. It speaks better for itself, because if I'm getting it wrong, I mean no disrespect. Ben, I don't want him getting mad at me. But he basically says that Ronan Farrow has this desire for this cinematic quality of stories,
Okay.
that when you hear them, you're like, that could be a movie. And that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like the Weinstein thing, Harvey Weinstein. It's like everything is like exaggerated to a great deal, to a great degree.
Okay.
And like while the guy did do a bunch of crazy things, he even like backed up one of the claims made against Matt Lauer, who got removed from his job, was like not true. So he basically debunked some of these claims made by Ronan Farrow.
And people actually lost their jobs for them,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
for their lives.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a lot about, Matt Lauer and Weinstein that are confirmed, but he
Okay.
points out not all of it was. Like one of the things he points out in this article is that Ronan Farrow alleges basically, I'm saying basically because I don't, I want to make sure the context could be your opinion, but Hillary Clinton was intervening to stop his story on Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
And it was perfect. The perfect narrative. The seedy establishment elite protecting her friend. And what Ben Smith uncovered was actually the I guess a lawyer for Hillary Clinton, like her companies or whatever, contacted Ronan Farrow not to pressure him to stop, to confirm if the story was real so they wouldn't do business with Weinstein. basically, like, I guess Ben verified some text messages where the guy said, if this stuff he's saying about Harvey is true, we don't want to do business with him.
Okay.
So he called and said, can you confirm this? What did Ronan Farrow write? He called me saying he was concerned about this, clearly an attempt to pressure me into backing off the story.
Of course.
So anyway, I bring this up because this is basically what they've done, and like what this story, you know, about Ivanka Trump and the red pill is.
Yep.
These outlets, they write narratives. They get the story in their mind, and then they're like, ooh, I really want to write a story about like a president's daughter who's a racist eco-fascist. Ooh, here's Ivanka, and she said the word taken. Perfect.
Perfect. That's all I
And they
need.
just write it
That
up.
fits my narrative.
That's my in. I got this.
I'll tell you a story, man. I don't know if I told this story before, but when I was working for Fusion,
Okay.
so this is the ABC News Univision company.
I remember those days.
Yeah, Miami, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working for them, and I'm sitting in the office in New York. I'm doing my thing because I do video, documentary, and stuff, and I hear them doing their like morning news briefing.
Okay.
And this one dude's like, I got a crazy story. This is crazy. Apparently, on Imager, right, the website IMGUR,
Okay.
there's like tens of thousands of uploads of this picture of the Monopoly Man. And he's got puppet strings, and it's like Facebook and Google and Twitter, and no one knows why all of these uploads, like all of these different links, someone's uploading all these photos. And I'm hearing this, and while he's talking, I Google it. 6 months ago, story resolved. When a 404 error occurred on the website, it would auto redirect to a random file name.
Okay.
It was one upload one time. They wrote the story. He knew what the story was. He didn't do any research.
None.
He went in the meeting and said, here's what I'm going to write. And they said, do it. And then he did. And while he was pitching it, I Googled it, and I'm like, this is not true.
Yeah.
Why are they writing this? And I told them, and they were like, well, you know, we'll look into it. I was told that at that company, they would often change articles without notice, without editing histories, without notifications, stealth editing articles, and they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to call anyone else out because they would get called out too.
Right.
There it is, you know. They go in the meetings
Yep.
and they say, what are you writing today? I have this great story I'm going to write. They never asked them if it was true or not. They were like, cool, do it. And it wasn't real.
I gotta say though, SJW AI sounds scary, man.
I wonder if someone
I hope it's not true.
I don't think it would be that difficult to make an AI where you could like load up a website and then it's like, give us a name of someone and we'll write some, you know, the AI will automatically generate like
Yeah.
calling him a bigot.
That's what this article feels like. That it was auto-generated.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh man. And
Uh-oh. Oh no.
that also explains why she's posing the same as Ivanka with blonde hair wearing a red dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the AI saw the picture.
It had
that's the
nothing
only
else to go
it's the
on.
only reference it had for who the person was.
Oh my gosh, I think you might be right.
I'm kidding, by the way.
I'm sort of
Someone's going to
joking.
clip this and they're going to be like, look at these crazy conspiracy theorists.
That's us.
You know what we should do? This is the perfect segue into truth over facts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Truth over facts.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It is a good segue. You're right.
Over facts.
Truth over facts.
No,
You-
we're not there
I'm
yet,
sure
there
you
yet.
people have heard this.
Oh yeah.
How many of you have seen
Uh-huh.
the epic Truth Over Facts? This is. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if you guys watched the segment I did earlier. I gotta say,
It's so funny.
this is one of the greatest trolls ever done.
Yep.
And I don't know, like I don't want to say that the Trump campaign did all of it on purpose. Like the outcome was just a perfect storm in some regard, but
Yeah.
it really was a smart campaign.
Yep.
Let me give you the gist.
They nailed it.
This is a website called thetruthoverfacts.com. When you go there, you see a very confused looking Joe Biden. Actually, several of them. And it says Joe Biden files, text truth.
I'm gonna do that.
Text truth to 88022. If you have any tips related to discovery of truth over facts, paid for by Donald J. Trump. First, it's so obviously not real.
Right.
I can't. It's just so difficult.
I can't.
The journalists thought it was real. They started tweeting about it. Trump's Truth Over Facts campaign. Ezra Klein was like, if you would have told me that Trump was going to launch a campaign called Truth Over Facts, I would have said, you know, that was unreasonable and unsubstantiated. But here we are, or something like that.
So they actually thought that was his new slogan. Like
That, like he was
dropped
doing
MAGA.
some kind of new campaign or
He's
something.
like,
Yeah.
no more MAGA. Let's just do truth over facts.
First, this is a gaffe from
That's
Joe Biden.
wonderful.
It's a
That
gaffe
is
from Joe
wonderful.
Biden.
I know.
Joe Biden was in Iowa or something, and he said, "We believe in truth over facts." and everyone started making fun of him. The
Rightly
fact,
so.
As they should,
but,
yes.
but
Yeah.
here's what's crazy. How do all these political reporters not know that?
Where have they been?
Yeah, what?
What are they reporting on?
Yeah, what's going on? with
That's
that?
crazy, man.
That doesn't make
Seriously.
any sense.
I can cite numerous Biden gaffes at the top of my head, or like weird circumstances.
Yeah.
You got what was
the
it?
thing.
Corn pop.
The thing.
Yeah, corn pop.
You know the thing.
You know the thing.
There was the thing on stage where he turned around and put his back to the camera, and people thought he was lost, but I think he was fixing his teeth.
How about this one?
Where it looked like he fell asleep on TV.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, that one. You got it.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was-
I got it.
There was
That's
the
the
20,
easiest one to do.
the 21-second clip where he sputtered and muttered randomly on CNN. It's like if you pointed these things out to me, I'd be like, I remember that.
Leg
yeah.
hair.
Yep.
The leg hair thing.
Oh,
The kids.
gosh, yeah.
They made cartoons about it.
I try to forget that part.
I know.
actually.
It's
Truth
like
over
a
facts
bucket of
thing?
One of the
memories.
ones I don't
I know
want to
the leg hair
remember.
thing, yeah.
There's I just learned this though the Winston Churchill thing I didn't know.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
didn't notice
gosh.
that.
Did you-
That's embarrassing.
Did you know, for those of you listening, did you know that at a CNN, it was a PBS debate, that someone said to Joe Biden, at the end of your first term, you'll be 82. You will be the oldest president in U.S. history. He says, what about Winston Churchill?
And he didn't hesitate at all.
No.
He was like,
He's ready.
What about Winston Churchill?
And then the guy says, American history. And he goes, American history. Oh. I was joking.
I was
Yeah.
making a joke.
That's a joke. And then everyone laughs. It's like, no, he wasn't.
No, you weren't.
No, he wasn't.
Wow.
I don't know how I missed that one. That was in December
Truth over
2019.
facts. So not only, listen.
Moly.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
only did they not even know about Biden's gaffe, which to me is kind of crazy. Like, you have one job. Your job is to cover politics, and you don't even know about a high-profile gaffe, which turned into a major meme
Yeah.
that the right was going nuts about on Twitter.
Yeah.
When I was on Rogan with Dorsey and Vijay Gadde and Joe, we were talking about how in 2016, left-wing journalists don't follow right-wing journalists, but right-wing journalists follow both left and right.
Right, that makes sense.
Jack said it was getting better. Like, it's changing. I disagree. And I think
Lydia disagrees too.
I
Do you
do. I
disagree?
was making a face like this. Yeah, that's not happening. That is not changing. That is not getting better. Sorry, I make faces.
the reason, and this is proof, if you follow any conservative, you would have seen Truth Over Facts light up your Twitter feed like crazy. None of them knew what this was. You know what gets even crazier?
Oh, enlighten us.
They didn't even Google
Go
it.
on. They didn't.
What is
so
this?
easy.
It's like all you had to do was just type it in,
Type
and this
it in.
pops up, and it's so obvious. Come on.
They didn't even do that.
Come
Talk
on.
You
about
have
due
one
diligence.
job.
To Google things.
This is
That's
crazy.
your job.
And I was talking about this. I don't know if I was talking about this in the last show or whatever. How, one thing that I'm going to start doing soon is like a news aggregator / fact checker. The goal. So you have a lot of these fact checking websites where it's like you can't really navigate it. It's a fact check.
Right.
So you're not seeing stories. You're seeing like claim, false, true, false. I want to make an actual site where it's like Donald Trump launches Truth Over Facts satirical campaign.
Yeah.
Mocking Joe Biden. And then when you go into it, it shows you sources, edit history. It shows you all these other sites and what the mainstream media is saying to give you an actual understanding of what's happening.
I actually think there's been a few chat comments randomly that I've caught. People are asking for this, for you to make this.
What, isn't it
So
crazy?
you got to do it.
Wait,
man.
hold on. Listen.
It makes sense in this climate, in
I
this
know.
world that we've got. It's like we need
That's
this.
the plan. That's the plan for
I love it.
The next plan is
Boom.
I'm gonna eventually. We need a space.
Yeah.
But then the goal is to get several people, and what we'll do is there'll be big, high-profile stories of the day. Probably a lot of the stories that I do commentary on.
Okay.
And we're gonna I do a fact check on most of these stories anyway, to varying degrees.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a breakdown of like we've confirmed this story from these different sources, all independently confirming it, right? And then we'll show
Sounds
the
nice.
edit history, and we'll explain like here's what happened, but also there will be like an analysis, like in the Truth Over Facts story, journalists were clueless as to what really happened, and it'll be something that affect. But the point that I'm bringing up, and why I think this is crazy, why do we need that website? We can't even trust the news articles the news companies write because they don't fact check any of it.
That's true.
One of the guys who tweeted like this, it was a long tweet. He was like, "What is this? I don't understand. You don't trust facts anymore? What is Trump trying to say?" Senior national correspondent for ABC News.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, it
Like, how do you
hurt.
not know that
How do you
Biden
not Google
said
it?
that? Yeah.
How do you not go like, I see this thing Trump is doing. Let me type that in real quick to Google.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
do you
it's
not-
clearly satire.
They don't.
It's pretty clever.
I was at Politicon a couple of years ago, and there was a panel with the guy from Media Matters. David Pakman was on it. A couple other people, I don't remember who. Lauren Chen, I think.
Okay.
And we all asked, like it was a Q&A session, and I went up and asked, how are we supposed to trust these outlets when they don't even have fact checkers anymore? They've fired them all, and they don't do it. And I got a really awful response, but it was funny because it was supposed to be like a fake news panel or something, and they're like, well, the job of the journalist as they're writing is to fact check the news. And I'm like, man, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. That's clearly not the case.
Yep.
Fact checkers are independent for a reason.
Right.
So that when the journalist writes the story, someone from a different department on a different floor makes several phone calls and says, is what they're claiming true?
Right.
That way, if you have one person who's in charge of their own fact checking, they're going to just lie.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Or find the ones that fit what they're trying to say.
Right.
Oh, well, I found all these articles. And it's like, yeah, well, are they true? Or
Oh, good question.
did you just dig your hole more,
Do you remember that story about it was like, I think it was a German guy who won a bunch of awards. He wrote for like Newsweek, Time, or like Der Spiegel. And it turned out everything was just faked.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember this guy. He was like one of their most esteemed reporters. He'd been reporting for like 10 or 20 years or something. And it turned out, every single thing he had been pulling out of thin air. And there was absolutely no basis to it. But
Boom,
he
I
was
got
one
it.
of their best reporters.
Check this
Here,
out.
Tim has it.
Der Spiegel says top journalists faked stories for years.
Gosh.
Publication says Klaus Relotius committed journalistic fraud on a grand scale. You know what's really funny about this?
Everything.
Technically, he didn't, because what he did is commonplace. Like
Now it is.
I say it's not a grand scale.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? He just like does everything what everyone else does. He got caught. That's what it really is.
Poor fool.
It's funny because I remember when the story was coming out, people were like, why would a journalist make up sources and lie? That
I
makes
don't
no
know.
sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, when you win what does the Pulitzer Prize pay? Like 10 grand?
It definitely pays money. I don't
It
know how
does?
much. I think so.
I think it pays 10 grand. I'm gonna
Check.
Google it.
I got this.
It's a nice little sum of money.
Yeah, see, you can Google things. That's how this works.
$15,000.
Ooh, not bad.
The Pulitzer Prize awarded yearly in 21 categories. In 20 of the categories, each winner receives a certificate and a US $15,000 cash award.
Raised from
Adjusted for
10,000.
inflation.
Yeah, it went up. It went up from
look at
10K.
that.
So let me tell you, when someone writes a story and wins a Pulitzer, they
Yep.
put money in their pocket. Come on, man! It's so obvious why they write fake news.
You can't monetize this.
The first reason you make money, man. Sweet, sweet Skrilla, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You write a fake story. Adam Krigler does a triple backflip off the back porch.
Wow.
Boom, 1
true.
million views.
Good job,
true.
Adam.
It's
Adam
true.
will fact check this
Triple.
for us.
was the best.
Quadruple.
The best backflip,
Best
triple backflip
backflip.
you've ever seen. Adam
Onto
Krigler
a skateboard.
Ooh.
While
Into a ramp.
kickflipping.
Wow.
into a
I
ramp.
kickflipped as I spun. It was amazing.
Pulitzer incoming.
He did it because he was saving a falling puppy.
A falling
Yes.
kitty.
A
Yep.
falling kitten.
And a puppy.
And a puppy.
Both.
Oh
I
my
had him in
gosh,
both
why
hands.
each hand?
So here, you write a story like that.
Can someone
you
do
put-
that picture, please?
You
That'd
do
be
you,
amazing.
you,
Please
you
draw
do
that picture.
a ridiculous picture. You fit the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
They're clever about it, but you'll get all these you get all these hits. You sell all these ads. You make all this money.
Yep.
And then the next day you say, "Oopsie,
Oops.
we
Oh,
did, we
sorry.
did an oopsie."
Listen,
Whoopsie.
by triple backflip catching a dog and a cat, I meant I fell.
In a
Off
video,
the
no,
board.
it was in a video
That's
game.
all. That's all that
It was,
happened.
it was in a
game.
video game.
Oh, you did
Yeah.
do it, but it was a video
But there was a
game.
cat in my
but
hand
hold on.
while I was playing.
They don't.
I was petting.
It's not.
Goku.
It's not so overt. They don't. They won't write a story where it's like, Adam did a triple backflip. They'll write something more believable, like we
Yeah.
saw with the New Statesman article.
I was just saying, like, talking about Ivanka, and it's like, it wasn't saying anything for certain. There was no facts that she even spoke of. It was just like assumptions and hearsay, nothing.
Oh, I
nothing.
gotta-
Bunch of nothingness.
I got a good one for you.
Oh, good.
So I have a Google alert set up for various things,
Okay.
including myself, and I get notifications when people write stories about me.
Okay.
One of them was a journalistic advisory website, and it was written by this left-wing activist posing as a journalist who tried to get the Proud Boys banned from their banking institution. Successfully, actually, did get the Proud Boys banned. She had sent an email to Chase Bank saying something to the effect of like, "Why are you providing support for these groups?" or something. It's like, providing support is such an awful way to phrase someone opened a bank account at one of your branches. It's like a ridiculous thing to
You
say.
mean that thing that anyone can do?
Yeah, it was a merchant account. So it was like, there's probably tens of millions of them. The company had no idea. Well, they purged the Proud Boys, like the guy's personal account. It wasn't even a Proud Boy account. They closed down his personal account. So she writes, and she writes, you know, like how to deal with hate speech in this thing. And then she says, let me give you an example from my own history when, you know, far right adjacent blogger Tim Pool, a popular YouTuber, you know, published an email of mine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what does far right adjacent mean? Does that mean right wing? Does that mean just regular right wing? Why would you write far right adjacent instead of right?
Adjacent means next
I think
to.
it means
Right.
you're in the center, which is next to the
right.
right.
It's next to the right. Yeah.
You're also far left adjacent then at the same
No,
time
so-
because you're in the middle.
Correct. Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
The right is adjacent to center right and far right.
Okay.
So if you're far right adjacent, the only thing you could possibly be is right.
There's nowhere further to go.
So the reason she wrote far right adjacent is to make it sound more ominous.
Yeah.
A far right adjacent popular YouTuber. That's right.
That's
Libertarian
me.
socialist Tim Pool. Social liberal, all that jazz.
Sure.
Because I don't like the Democrats. But that's what she does that because it's shocking. It's a narrative. It you know, it'll be like, ooh, prestige and like, you know, allure, this crazy story.
Add
what they do.
some flair.
So
yeah, seriously.
but that's it, right?
Yeah.
A story about you being called out for malfeasance and wrongdoing,
Yeah.
that's not going to get you a lot of clicks. But if you're being attacked by a hate mob sparked by far-right adjacent blogger, now we're talking. And it's technically not untrue. It's her opinion.
And it
Masquerading
makes her
as
a
fact.
victim. Yeah.
And it makes her a victim. So what the journalists can do is, I love framing devices. My favorite one is hydroxylic acid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, so most of you already know this, but the example I give people is that hydroxylic acid is a relatively dangerous substance. If you breathe in a little bit of it, you could die. They use it to like clean off, metals. It can actually eat through metal. It's used in nuclear power plants, and it's responsible for a lot of deaths every year. They actually find it in cancer cells. And then once people are all freaked out, you just say like, you know, this is a very serious problem. I could have written all that down as fact. But then when I tell you that it means water, hydroxylic acid means water, it's the same thing as the dihydrogen monoxide hoax. But hydroxylic acid sounds crazier in my opinion. It sounds, you know, acid. Ooh,
Yeah.
scary.
Scary.
Yep.
Here's my favorite retelling of this. I did this video a few years ago. Everything I'm about to tell you guys is the truth. 100% true. You're gonna love it. You ready?
No, wait, hold on. Let me adjust my seat. Okay, I'm ready now.
Now we're ready.
Yep.
Here's how I handle the framing, and I'll explain everything after I do it. First, do you know what chemtrails are?
Yes.
The planes, right? That vapor that's coming out of them.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people think these chemtrails are nefarious. They do a lot of things negative to us, and the planes are spraying them out.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work for American Eagle Airlines,
Okay.
which is the regional branch for American Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
And we would load these planes up, but we handled baggage, right?
Yep.
So I was an acting crew chief, which meant that periodically I would be in charge of whole teams. But, you know, it's like a mix. It's like you're not quite a crew chief where you're in charge, but you're one step up from a regular crew member.
Okay.
And there would be people who would come out in big vehicles and pull out a hose, hook it into the plane, and pump in hydroxylic acid into these planes. Now, this is a chemical. It's serious, right?
Oh my God.
It's
Sounds like a
hydroxylic.
chemical.
The truth. comes
Hydroxylic
out.
acid is pumped into these planes.
100% true, by the way.
100% true.
100%.
I watched
100%.
them. I watched them do this.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what the point of putting this hydroxylic acid in the plane was, and that's true. This is true, and I'll explain. And so, this stuff is used in nuclear power plants. It can eat through metal. It's found in cancer cells. If you breathe in even a little bit, you die.
Yep.
And so let me tell you though, I know this for a fact. When you see those planes flying, when you see a plane flying and you see that vapor trail coming out, that is vaporized hydroxylic acid coming out the back of that plane.
The truth.
That's a fact.
Oh, man.
That is 100% true. It is a vapor of it.
Oh, man. I'm
That's
scared.
I can confirm this as
Yeah.
somebody who worked for the airport.
Thank you, Tim.
With his
Thank
own
you.
eyes.
So
I really
I
appreciate
used
it.
I
God's
used
work.
so
We
I did
need you.
several things in here.
Mhm.
I used framing devices to make it sound ominous.
Yep.
And I used assumptive language to make you draw connections I never said. I never said the vapor coming out of the plane was the same stuff they loaded into it. I said they put it in the plane, and when you look up and see it, that vapor coming out is hydroxylic acid. That makes the average person assume it's the chemical they put in the plane. It's not. The contrail comes from condensation, and when it pulls in water vapor and then pushes it out in a vapor cloud. So it is vaporized water. When I said I saw people do it, I didn't know what the water was used for. That's 100% true.
Yep.
They put water in that plane. I don't know what it was for, because you couldn't drink it. I'm assuming it may be for washing your hands. I have no idea.
Yep.
I did work there. It is dangerous. I framed it in a way that made it scary as possible, but I left gaps in to make you assume the worst, that they
You
were
get to
doing
fill
it for
in the
nefarious
blanks.
reasons. I started the story by saying people believe they do these things for nefarious means to start the story off on some scary way. So by the time it's done, I say, I can confirm this, man. I watched them do it. And I don't know what they were doing or why. But that stuff can be dangerous. And then the average person walks away saying, whoa, dude. That's
Chemtrails are
framing.
real.
You know what that
manipulative
is?
Storytelling.
That's truth over facts.
That's right.
There's a good point to be made about truth over facts.
It's great. I love that line. It's funny.
But I don't know if, I think it's the other way around.
Facts over truth?
Right. That is. Everything I told you was a fact.
Right.
But
Yeah,
not
it's
the
true.
truth.
Mm.
I was giving you facts to deceive you.
Right.
This is the craziest thing about how news operates. So these stories, like the story we saw about Ivanka Trump, they will tell you the truth about certain things and connect things in weird ways that make no sense.
Do you think maybe that's what Biden was actually saying?
No.
No.
Oh, that
I
we
think he just
manipulate you, that
stumbled.
we don't care
Yeah.
for.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
What could he have possibly meant? How did he gaff?
Well,
So-
that he heard someone else say it in what we're trying to
Truth
talk
over
about, how
facts.
like they use the truth and the facts to try to like manipulate us. So like the truth is what they give us over the facts that what actually happened. So he heard it and he was like, yeah, I like that line. That's good. I'm going to use that in the debate later, and then says it with no
Think about-
context, and everyone's like, what is he talking about? That's ridiculous.
Now hold on.
Hmm?
To Biden's
Maybe.
credit,
Whoa.
truth over
Biden's
facts
credit.
does mean a lot.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
actually
It
does
means
kinda
that
make
you want
sense.
to really give someone an objective, reasonable understanding, regardless of the individual facts that can be falsely misrepresenting.
Okay.
To give someone so this is why I was talking about the need for like an independent aggregator and fact checker.
Yeah.
Because you can have all of these stories be factually correct but truthfully wrong.
Okay.
Like when they take a quote from Trump, where he says something, what did he say? You're a nasty guy. You're a nasty reporter.
Okay.
To that one reporter from
Right.
NBC or whatever. That is a fact, but the truth of the matter was more complex. The guy
Right.
had been goading Trump on
For a while,
and no matter
right.
what Trump had said, he had countered in the opposite. So Trump snapped and called him nasty. If you really want someone to understand what happened and why Trump said that, the truth of the matter was actually broad. It's funny because people thought that with YouTube, with online video, we'd have facts to prove everything.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Oh,
so
man.
here's actually another really great example of what they've tried doing to me. There was a story that came out, and the New York Times wrote about it, and Fox wrote about it. On a live stream, I said something to the effect of, someone said, which outlet do you trust on this one? And I said, well, I don't trust the New York Times. I do trust the Fox story. They took that. It's fact. I said it. It's a quote. The context was about one story.
Right.
So when they take that clip out of context, the fact is I did say it, and they use the literal statement as opposed to what was actually trying to be conveyed.
Right.
They do it with Trump all the time.
So that's a fact. You did say that. But it's like the overarching truth is that the context behind it was like
That's the
bigger.
simple way to look at it is like what out of context really means.
My question is, do you think Biden could even explain it
No.
I think
in a
I don't
coherent
think he knew
sentence?
what he was talking about.
I think what he meant to say was facts over feelings. That's what I came up with. I'm just not really sure. It didn't make sense at the time. Doesn't make sense now. I'm just glad that there's a website about it. I love it.
Oh yeah, truth over facts. So look at it this way. These people are mocking Trump for creating this campaign called Truth Over Facts because they're not smart enough to understand it. Like, first of all, it's obviously fake.
Yeah, very much so.
It's amazing.
crazy, man.
Amazingly fake. And you know what? Wait, I texted that number, and they have you send them your zip code.
Okay.
And they're like, we're going to get you on board. We're going to talk to you about President Trump. And then they want you to take a survey about President Trump so they know exactly what
Yeah,
they're doing.
I've seen Trump surveys though. Have you seen them?
I'm sure.
It's
I know what
like-
they are.
I got an email
Leading.
because I used to go to the Trump rallies to cover the 2016,
Yeah.
2015, 2016 campaign season. And the emails I've gotten have been like, how would you rate Trump's job performance? Good, great, the best, other. Yeah, I'm like, what's the point of this? That you make people have to go out of their way to say they don't like it. It could be anchoring, make someone click, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
And then they'll affirm it like, well, I think he's doing a good job. That could be it. Maybe, I don't know. Or it's just Trump, I'm the best.
Yep.
You know, it's always great. You know, whatever. I have a question though. I've been wondering this. We've kind of broached the subject in some of the past podcasts. Is the left just becoming people who they're not smart? You know what I mean? Like, certainly there are smart leftists.
They're just
You know what I mean?
surrounded. See, the thing is that, like you said it earlier, all right, the left, they don't follow the right. The right, they follow the right and the left, right? The journalists, I'm saying. So
No, but everyone does too. Like, conservatives read liberal and conservative news.
Yeah, okay.
Moderates, same.
But the people on the left are only following their own
Yep.
circles. So that breeds, like, stupidity almost, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
can't think of a better word, you know?
but
that's
critical
basically
thinking.
what I'm seeing.
Like, if you show this website to any rational person, they'll laugh and be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
You look down and it says "paid for
That's
by Trump." You're
amazing.
like, "What?" They're making fun of Biden.
It's
Yeah.
like they didn't even watch the video. Like, what?
Well, there's something that happens
It's-
when you're talking to someone with an opposing view that might be actually the correct view, and you think something else, and you have a debate, and then you change your mind, and then okay, you know what? Now we're on the same page. That's great. The people on the left, they don't like that. It's almost like you said, over emotions, of feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what the left is. They're just a ball of emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
They don't care to hear about facts or whatever anyone else is saying because it's triggering them and at a raw level. You know, they're like logic gets thrown out the window because it's all emotions at that point.
So I have this article from the Wrap, and one of the things they bring up, it's hilarious because they clearly have no idea what they're talking about. They say truth over facts branding is in line with messaging from Trump. Kellyanne Conway invented the term alternative facts. It's like, hold on, truth over facts was Joe Biden's gaffe. It's not Trump's branding. They clearly have no idea what they're talking about, but great, fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
When the alternative facts things happened with Kellyanne Conway, I immediately heard her say that and I went, okay. And then a bunch of people were like, I can't believe they believe they're alternative facts. Like, there are. I don't understand. So if I do a study
Okay.
that says, coffee causes cancer, I say, fact, a study proves this causes cancer.
Okay.
And then you say, hold on, I got a study that says it prevents cancer. Fact, a study proves cancer doesn't cause cancer, or suggests, or, found. If I said that a study found coffee causes cancer, that's a fact. A study found that.
Yep.
If I say a study found that coffee prevents cancer, fact, a study did find that.
Did find that. Yep.
So you do have alternative facts.
Yep.
It's semantic, I guess.
Yeah.
So it depends on, who do you trust? So immediately, someone tweeted this, there's no such thing. And I responded with like, what about conflicting studies? And there's like no answer. It's
Right.
like, well,
That's really the biggest thing. It's all semantics. Everything they have, like the whole Ivanka thing. It's like, oh, semantics. So now we can run with it and throw everything we can into it because they crossed what we believe.
It's almost
all
like
semantics. Yeah.
the left
Alternative facts.
is emotional, so they're easily shepherded by people who are waiting for any opportunity to falsely, like, to create that lie, give them an opportunity. Like when Donald Trump said, I don't know if we've talked about this, but during the 2016 election, he said Hillary Clinton acid washed her server.
Right.
We all know what he meant. He meant that she purged it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
NBC said false.
Used
Hillary
bleach
Clinton
bit.
did not use a corrosive substance on her server. She used bleach bit. And it's like, no one thought that's what Trump meant. Did you really think that?
Are you
Yeah.
dumb?
Yeah.
And then they're catering to all the left that are also dumb, that
Yeah,
believe that kind of stuff.
I think, so there was a graph that I've tweeted out several times.
Okay.
Conservatives tend to read mostly conservative news, and around 30 to 35% is liberal news.
Okay.
Moderates tend to read the inverse, around 60% liberal sources and 35% conservative sources.
Okay.
Still both.
Liberals, 95% liberal sources.
Yep.
I wonder if that's actually not, correlation, but causation, that because liberals only read liberal news, they're liberal. If a person reads mostly liberal stuff, but some conservative, they'll be moderate.
Okay.
If a person only reads conservative, they'll be conservative. Or even if they read mostly conservative. And if a person reads only liberal, they'll be liberal. It's really funny then that you actually have conservative and moderates mostly, agreeing and disagreeing on some policy issues, but like getting along.
Yeah.
Because that's like the left. But then you have the liberal faction of people who just read the left. So I wonder if over time what we're seeing is the two groups that are forming, right? So you know the walk away campaign.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people who are formerly Democrats now leaving, joining the Republicans, voting for Trump, or just leaving the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Over time, it's like watching. You ever see one of those Plinko things? You know, Plinko is from.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's The Price is Right, where all the little pegs are, and then you drop the thing and it bounces around. And if you drop them evenly, they start distributing in different ways. It feels like there are some people who are really dumb and some people who are, moderately smart or inquisitive at the very least.
Okay.
And so when you drop them into this machine where the left is fake news that any reasonable person will question, and the right has a bunch of, hyperbolic conservative opinion, you end up with a bunch of people saying, that's a lie. That's their opinion. I'm okay with their opinion. I disagree. I'll go read this. And then you have the dumb people being like, derp, that's the truth. Burp, that's the truth. So the dumb people are being filtered into the dumb section.
Yeah,
and
basically.
Inquisitive people are arguing over the opinions of people, right?
And enlightening themselves,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, they're being forced to argue among
Yeah.
themselves.
And that's how you become more enlightened.
Right,
by,
exactly.
by
Well,
hearing other.
discussing.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you end up being right in the long run, you still had to prove your point.
You had to listen
you
to
can still
someone
pick up bad
else.
ideas.
Learning more about it.
You can still pick up bad ideas.
That's true.
But it's an issue of, do I blindly just believe whatever I'm told? Or actually, it's not even that. The truth over facts is the perfect explanation, the perfect example.
Yeah.
Take two people. One person is of average intelligence, moderately inquisitive, and they see this and they go, what is this? It's like truth over facts. Why does Biden look so dumb? Oh, Donald Trump paid for it. Is this like Trump making fun of Biden? Then you take a dumb person and they go, duh, Joe Biden. Whoa, that's crazy.
Whoa, that's a Joe Rogan quote.
What? Oh, you know what I mean.
It was way
Joe
too close,
Rogan
man.
quote. What I mean is, you show someone this Ivanka New Statesman article.
Mm-hmm.
A reasonable person is going to be like, but she only tweeted the word taken. Like, what?
That's our only source.
Elon Musk isn't a white supremacist. This doesn't make sense.
No, it makes
Let me
no
let me
sense.
Google this.
And there's no other facts, nothing else. That's such a silly
a
article.
reasonable person says like, I'm going to ask someone about this. Did you see that story about Elon? Is that true? That sounds weird. I don't know if I
Right.
believe that.
Yeah.
Then you get the other person. They go, whoa, she's a Nazi.
I knew it.
And everyone that's taken the red pill is also a Nazi.
Yep.
And I knew
And
that
an
too.
eco-fascist.
And then,
Yes.
here's the best part. The dumb people go on Twitter and they wiggle their arms and they're going,
Yes, just like the turkeys.
and the Democrat politicians see them. They go, I guess that's what they want.
Oh.
And then people like me and like you and like Lydia and the walk away people are like, no,
Like,
stop,
why are you
please."
doing that
Why are
wavy
you doing this?
turkey
I
thing?
don't even know.
The wavy turkey thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I
They're
can't
just
do it
all
as
running
well
around
as
the
you
room
can.
going, with their
Thank
arms
you.
wiggling in the
Yeah,
airs.
yeah, that.
Yes, that.
They have no idea what's going on, what they're talking about.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
you end up with people having no choice. But like, if you've got one person on the left and it's like, why should I appoint you? And they're going, well, I'll lie to you. I'm lying to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like they just lie to you and you're like, but you're lying. And then you go to the right and they're like, here are my opinions. And I'm like, I don't like those opinions, but you're telling me the truth.
Yep.
They're just your opinions.
I
It's okay.
appreciate the truth.
Right.
I can't get over how close they look together now.
That's hilarious.
I can't get it out of my head. Look
Oh,
at
they're
this.
exactly the
For
same
anyone who
person.
missed this segment earlier, this is insane. They look exactly the same.
The
Okay,
author
so
looks
The
exactly
author
like her.
and
This
Ivanka.
woman wearing like a red dress with blonde hair, hand on the chin. And they did this photo. It's like the same thing.
She's wearing a red dress. She's blonde. Hands on her
but
chin.
this
We
wo-
should write a whole article about how that right there, this right
That is
here.
the dog whistle.
Alt right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
Look at
all
Ivanka.
right,
She's
Sarah.
doing the same
Manavis.
thing. Oh, who knew?
Manavis,
Oh, is that whatever it is?
Manavis.
Manavis.
Manavi.
I don't know. Whatever sounds cooler, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
whatever.
sounds stupid.
I see Mana.
Manavis.
I think mana.
Manavis.
Because of Final Fantasy and stuff.
Is this the weirdest thing ever? Do you think? And here,
Secret of Mana.
the big question, and we can wrap this up and jump over the chats, is, does she know what she's doing?
Yes.
I think the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely does.
She's going through the lexicon of
Yep.
terms.
Because this article is one of those things that all the people on the left are like, "Oh yeah, share this, man. Did you read about that? Yo,
It filters the
share this."
stupid people to the left.
Yeah, it
Yep,
does.
exactly.
It really does.
You're right.
It's like
That's
panning
crazy.
for gold. It sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, if it's not even that. If like, you know what, man, I don't want to drag anyone personally, but there have been some really
Do it.
dumb tweets from
Do
leftists,
it. Drag 'em.
and there have been
Put 'em on
some
a
really
list.
dumb tweets from conservatives.
Okay.
But it's like right now, one of the things it's just so it's just so obvious, man. Well, actually, this is the next segment we're going to do. And so I'll point this out, and then we'll jump over to the next segment. Where is it? Okay, here it is.
Oh, yes.
Believe all women is a right-wing trap.
Let that sink in.
You've got to have the memory of a goldfish
Yeah.
for this to
basically.
work on you.
I know.
Believe all women is not a right-wing trap. How feminists got stuck answering for a canard. They argue that the right made the phrase up.
What?
I'm not kidding.
It's insane.
What?
So much to unpack
That was the
here.
rallying cry of the Me Too movement. We all know it. We don't.
Yeah,
it was a year
exactly.
ago. It was a
Yeah.
year and a half ago.
What?
But you
Right.
know what, man? It's like I was saying. You get people who are really dumb
Yep.
and have no memory, and they go, "Whoa,
They'll believe it.
the right."
Yep, they believe that now.
That's crazy.
Since
And Google's not
Are
a
you
thing,
just gonna keep
apparently.
doing it?
All right, let's. We're gonna jump over to super chats.
Oh.
all right.
But this is the next.
Super
The
chat,
next
man.
segment we're gonna do is they're actually trying to claim that believe all women is a right wing thing, and it's
Oh, it's
It's
silly.
exhausting.
It's silliness.
Oh,
this
man.
is crazy.
Man.
Indeed.
That one was real. It really is crazy.
Legit.
Super chat time.
Oh,
What up,
yeah.
everybody?
Yeah.
For those that have just tuned in or weren't here in the beginning, because it's slow built up over time, hop into the super chat, post your comments. You give us money. We love your money. We can't get to everybody, and I apologize to everybody. We have just about close to 11,000 people watching right now.
Oh, nice. What up,
we
everybody?
end up with hundreds of super chats, and it would be physically impossible to actually read them all. So we try our best to read as many as we can, and then if it goes too long, we just start speeding up. But also, if you haven't, hit that like button, and I sincerely do request you do. Apparently, it helps a whole lot if it takes 2 seconds. If not, you don't have to. Fine, But also share the podcast if you like it. We're on iTunes as well. Check us out on iTunes and I think Spotify and a bunch of other platforms.
And follow me.
And,
Follow me right there.
And also, don't forget, follow Adam. He's over there.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Because you can send him the stories,
The things.
story ideas, and then we actually do them on the show. So this is where you guys can send story ideas, things you want us to talk about. And you can follow me to see, pictures of cats or something.
Yes, the best
Or if you follow me
pictures.
on Twitter, you can see me complaining all the time about the
Good
media.
stuff. Solid.
But now we will read Super Chats. IB Rippenham is back saying, Tim
Yes.
Pool, what would you do if you ran into your arch enemy, Tim Foosball? Would it be a fight on sight type of thing? Tim Foosball?
Yeah, Tim, like a pool
So it'd be
table,
kind of like
foosball
Peter
table.
Griffin and
Yeah.
the
I get it.
giant chicken.
Yeah.
No, we
kinda
team
thing.
up.
They
Oh.
would. Yeah,
Yeah.
they sure would.
Ooh.
Yeah, see,
Vice
I would
A
president.
surprising twist.
I would have him take over half my shift so I can finally take a break.
Oh, God,
It's
that'd
kind
be
of like a
nice.
pool table where you can flip it
Smart.
over and it's a foosball
a
table.
pool table.
Yeah.
I get it.
Table.
That's
I
good.
got it.
Not bad.
King Canuck says, sent at 7:58. People have forgotten rule 1 of online discussion. Don't feed the trolls. I don't know what you have lined up, but I'm here for it. Singing videos. We might do music on Fridays. We'll see how things play out.
Yep, I think
GM says, let's have at Timcast for a bit. For sure. Chuck says, Strawberry Patch Lydia needs more camera time. Well,
Right.
she controls it.
That's true, I do. Ha ha ha.
Ceylon Blue says, man, how do you deal with the haters without them living in your head rent-free? I need to be more like Adam and you. I just never cared.
so. Yeah, how did
There
I
was, like-
gain that ability? It wasn't always true, but over time I just kind of... I have a lot of friends that I've learned this mantra from, and their mentality of live in the now, live for yourself, and do your own research. And it's just kind of like there's a-holes everywhere. I can't say the actual word, but they're out there.
know who they
You
are.
can
Mean
never...
people.
They're out there. Mean people
Jerks.
exist no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, no matter how terrible you are. It doesn't matter. And you got to just learn that they are going to exist, and just remember that it's your choice whether or not to listen to them or not.
Just ignore everybody. Why does it matter? What do they do? Are they going to show up to my house? I mean, one guy did one time,
Well,
but
yeah.
no, I don't care. Are they going to mail me something? I don't know, whatever. I open, whatever.
Focus
I don't
focus
care.
on the non-haters.
Yeah, man.
For every
I
10
got-
haters, there's one that's a cool person.
You know what
Be
it is?
like,
It's,
you know what?
It's,
Boom.
It's skateboarding.
Is it skateboarding?
Maybe. Here's what I was told when I was a lot younger skating.
Maybe it is.
When you're about to do a trick and you're scared, you think, what's the worst that can happen? And usually it's like, I might fall down and hurt my arm or something. It's like, that's not so bad, is it? No. Okay. So if you hurt your arm, then you just, what's the worst going to happen? Honestly, depending on the trick I'm trying, maybe I'll break my arm or something, and then for like a few weeks I won't be skating as hard. That's not the worst thing in the world. Some tricks are just like, I might sprain my ankle, I guess. The worst possible thing. So I've always been like, you know what? The worst thing that could happen, it's not really that big of a deal in terms of like life.
Yeah.
So what's the worst thing's going to happen with someone tweeting stupid things at me? Literally nothing. So
True.
I don't care.
I think it relates to also we're kind of lacking a purpose. Humans in general, I mean, you know, we're kind of drones now. We're living lives, not really. There's not like one huge communal thing that we're working towards as a group, a community. So this online connectivity that we have now, it almost feels like we're part of it, but then it's like public shaming that we're not asking for. It's like, oh, I'm being publicly shamed. Like, why? You know, what is
Yeah,
this?
I know. Who cares?
And it's like, right. There's these, you got to just remember, like we just said, there will always be people that want to shame people, that are shamed and are affected by it. So the more you're affected by it, the more you're going to be targeted also. So you got to remember, just block it out.
There's some funny things I want to point this out. One of the things that whenever like some lefties will like tweet, and this is what really bothers me about the cultural left. They're not arguing; they're just insulting.
Right.
So that's why I'm one of the reasons why I think they're grifting and they're not legit. But they'll like, I'll tweet and someone will say something like "Pim Tool," and I'm like,
wow.
Listen. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to feel from it. Is it supposed to be like a dig or something? But they do it.
Yeah.
I don't care because it does nothing.
Right.
The next funniest thing is they tell me I'm bald. I know I'm bald.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing? That's the point.
It's like, and?
But here's the funniest part.
Uh-huh.
They post a picture of me without my hat on. And I'm like, I posted that picture
That's on
first.
the internet. What the heck?
I'm the one who took the picture and put it on the internet. Why do you think I would be upset about you showing it to me?
I just love that so much. I'm like, who do you think put
I
that
don't
there?
care. Yeah, it's funny. So it's like, you know, when it comes to the cultural right on Twitter, I see a lot of stupid things, but mostly it's like making points.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we were saying before about like the right will love bomb you,
Yeah.
and the left will attack you. When I see what the left, the cultural left is posting on Twitter, it's like replying to Trump complaining, calling him stupid, calling him ridiculous, and then the comments are all like, "What a moron, what an idiot," and then when I reply, they'll say, "You're stupid, you're bald, you're a moron, Pim Tool," and I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, do you think I care? Like, I've been in war zones. Like, you can call me whatever you want.
Right.
You can literally call me a bald cuck named Susan. I don't care. I really don't. You know what? But some people really do.
Yep.
And it's the cultural left, right? That's why they want to ban hate speech. That's why they want to ban voice chat, because they easily get triggered by what other people think about them.
Yep, that's true.
Maybe that's another big factor in what separates the left and the right. Not policy, but whether or not you really care what other people think.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's read more super chats.
Yes.
The Wootman says, "Did you see Brett Weinstein call you out? ? The answer is no. I have no idea what that's about. I think you mentioned someone tweeting at you about it.
I saw it, you know, but it's interesting. We used what he said.
Well, hold on.
as the
Before you even
reason.
say that, I
Go
have no
ahead.
idea what he said.
Oh, okay. Well, we read one of his tweets on our episode last week, and basically he said that he wasn't calling. He was.
Did you?
essentially-
Well, hold on. Did you listen to the podcast where he said anything?
I haven't listened to the podcast, but people are saying that he was upset that we basically lied. But we read his tweet verbatim. We had it up on the screen. We read it. It's basically talking about vitamin D and COVID-19 versus the, going out and getting
Did he really?
sun.
But here's the problem. Did he really say we lied, or did someone else claim that he said that?
I don't know.
'Cause
But
I'll tell you
obviously
what.
people are asking about it. So
This is why I don't care, because Brett has me on DM and he has my email, and I've done numerous videos with him. And if he had an issue, he'd be like, "Hey Tim, just wanted to mention this," and I'd be like, "Oh, we'll clear it up." He didn't.
I know, but my point remains. We didn't even we just used what he said as our argument.
But we don't know what he said. That's the problem.
No,
People
no,
are-
no. We know what his tweet
his
said.
tweet.
I don't know. I don't care anything after our episode. Whatever anyone is saying about him calling us out, it's irrelevant, because we didn't say that he said that we should all be out and about. We used his phrase of using this, getting vitamin D from the sun. That we were like, yeah, see,
But I
this
don't-
doctor said we getting vitamin D. We should go out.
The point I'm making is I don't even know why that's relevant at all. For all I know, Brett Weinstein said Tim's awesome.
That's a
He
good
never
point.
he never sent me any messages about anything.
Well,
And so
a
I
lot
assume
of
if-
people are tweeting at me about it too. So I'm assuming something was said, but You're right. I
don't pay attention.
I don't know. I didn't see the podcast
Yeah,
myself.
see, here's the thing. People always try to start drama.
Mm-hmm.
I've had tons of people hitting me up, being like, "Dude, you better respond to this video about you." And I'm like, "I'm gonna block you if you send me those things." No, I'm not going to. And that's why I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Whatever. But
he can PM you.
I've been to his house. I've done interviews with.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've done interviews with him.
That's very
We
cool.
did it. We did a documentary about.
So if he
his-
was really upset, he'd hit you up.
you just be like, "Hey Tim, how's it going?" I'd be like, "What's up, buddy?"
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like,
Well, you heard it
he's a
here.
cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Brett, if you end up hearing this and you are upset with our characterization of you, feel free to reach out and we'll correct the record. That's
Boom.
why I'm like,
True
why
that.
calling you out? A light. No, come on, man. Call outs don't even sound like Brett anyway. He's like a very
Nice,
mild mannered,
super, yeah.
intelligent, calm. But maybe he's made a bombastic culture war show. I don't know.
I doubt it.
No.
You're right.
Go check it out.
I'd be ripping him says Adam singing sounds way better than my farts. Ooh, that's hard to believe.
Ooh,
Wow.
I mean, that's a
know.
perspective
high
issue.
praise.
That's a bold compliment.
Perspective issue,
Perspective
though.
issue.
Some people appreciate a good symphony of farts.
Here we go.
This guy.
Adam says Musk said he was
Thank you,
taking.
though. Thank you.
Musk said he was taking Dayquil and NyQuil at the same time after the red pill comment, blue and red. I think he's saying there's life outside the tribes. Did he really say that though? I don't think he's...
No, it was the
He's
you
that
pulled it
meme,
up.
right?
It's the meme.
Yeah.
He
No,
said-
yeah, he just said when you take Dayquil and NyQuil at the same time. I don't think he was saying that he actually did.
No, that's just
That'd be weird. I hope
Is-
not.
Israfel
Yeah.
says, how's it going, all you dog-faced pony soldiers? If I
Okay.
knew what that meant,
I would say good.
I would tell
Okay.
you.
Might be offended.
Kyle Miller says, these governors are in for a rude awakening when people vote them out due to them trying to enforce their unlawful lockdown measures. It's going to be a reckoning.
Yep.
Whitmer, I can't imagine she gets reelected after this.
My favorite thing is Lydia posted on some Twitter comment, and it was the scene from I forget what movie. The elevators open, there's blood
Oh,
pours.
Shining.
Oh yeah, the
Shining.
Red wave.
Yeah, the red wave.
The
The
red
red
wave.
wave.
The terrifying red wave. You're
It's
welcome,
great.
everyone.
That was actually the first movie that ever scared me.
That movie
Shining?
was
Yeah, the
sketchy.
Have you
Shining.
seen Dr. Sleep?
Oh my.
No, I haven't.
Doctor
Sequel.
Sleep.
Is it
It's good.
Watch
Oh,
it.
really?
Go
Yeah.
watch it.
Dr. Sleep's real good.
Cool.
Sweet
Really good.
cheeses.
It was
Yes.
fun.
Was it like a good sequel? Like, to it, paid homage to the first movie, or
Yes.
was it something different?
So good.
Yes.
It was
Oh,
a
good.
perfect homage
Yes.
to
Good
the
to
first
know.
movie.
Good
they,
to
they,
know.
yeah, it's good.
All
Dr.
right,
Sleep was
don't
awesome.
tell me anything. I
Favorite
definitely want to
movie.
see that.
It was amazing.
It's your favorite movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
That's
Wow.
saying a
I
lot.
really loved it.
All
It
right.
got a really high rating.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Should
check
watch
it out. Thanks.
Storm says, was watching the movie The Interview. Lydia, are you prepared to be Tim's Seth Rogen to his James Franco?
I could never be.
The
Seth
Interview
Rogen.
was about Vice.
Oh,
Very
yeah, that's
obviously
right.
was premised off of what Vice had done with North Korea. Matthew Hammond says, the truth over facts. Yes. Ionic, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Wolfsbane, hey Tim, enjoyed your music stream on Friday. Considered calling it FNM? Also, maybe theme nights such as blues, rock, and jazz. I mean, I just played a few songs that I had written, and
Yeah.
one like jam song, and
Yeah.
I don't know about writing anything other than what I just write. Graf von Tyrol says the House is still obsessed with investigating Trump with intent to impeach and still believing there's something Mueller had to hide after all this time and attempts falling flat. Jesus Christ. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
It's getting embarrassing.
Matthew says playing video games and listening to your show, best way to spend my day off work. Hey, appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you could have
thanks,
at
man.
least mentioned what game you were playing.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
game?
come on.
The gamer in me is like itching. Like, oh, what game?
Yeah.
Robin says, how do I join? Do I do it on Timcast? No, join here.
Oh,
Joining is we used to have it like we would post for members the stream, but now we just post it for everybody because we put it up on iTunes and stuff. So if you'd like to and to be a member, you can go to youtube.com/TimcastIRL/join, and that should work. I don't know why it's not appearing on the page. Benito says YouTube waited for the checks to cash. Oh yeah.
maybe
Dirties.
that's it.
Dirty says nugs, hugs, and shirt tugs with Adam, Lids, and Tim.
I love it.
Well, no nugs.
That's awesome.
No.
I guess.
Jake says we need a way to recognize each other during the boogaloo. Like if I call out, "Are you a milk toast fence sitter?" and you respond, "It's complicated. I know you as a friend." Yep.
That's great.
Yes.
Fart sausage. Has anyone taken into account that treason is an act of war? Barr only deals with criminal indictments. The military deals with treason. Treason is specifically a statute designed to penalize giving aid to American adversaries. So if you are in this country and you did something against Trump, that would not be treason. That would be something else. The actual treason act is specifically about giving aid to a foreign government. To
So
an
all
enemy.
those professors that are selling out to China, they're all treason traitors, right?
So we're not
Treasonous.
officially enemies with China right now, and that's why they're doing wire fraud and stuff.
Okay.
But if we were at war with China, those people would likely get the death penalty.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
treason is
amazing.
death penalty.
That is one of the
Dang.
death
It's
penalties.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring him to Utah.
Here we go.
Get shot up against the wall, right? Isn't that
I think
Utah?
That's
is it Utah
yeah.
that
Yeah.
has that still?
King Flip says Obamagate. Nathan says just did a background check for a block of aluminum. Thanks, ATF. Wow.
What?
Eric says people
Random.
in Cali have permission to view the sunset. They can watch their freedom disappear below the horizon.
Oh, isn't that
Good for them.
nice?
Wow.
Galaxy Express says it's my birthday today, last year of my 30s. Thank you all for Friday Night Jams and hope that it becomes a reoccurring show for Friday nights. Beanie Club. Happy birthday, Galaxy
Happy
Express.
birthday.
Thanks for joining in.
That thing about Cali too, it's funny. I have a friend I was just talking to in Cali yesterday, and I guess they opened all the beaches, but none of the parking lots.
Oh.
So you
gotta
can't
walk.
actually drive and
Gotta
park
walk all the way?
anywhere. Only if you're close to the beach can you go.
Huh.
So messed up.
Jeez.
Dakota Dad says the madman has done it again, but this time he has broken the brains of the MSM activist cabal. It's great. A man who's never held office running circles around all of them. Thanks, Tim, Adam, and Lids. It's funny because when I pointed out that it was like the Truth Over Facts campaign was genius, I got all these angry leftists like, Tim just likes Trump. And I'm like, if you can't accept that he just ran circles around you, you won't win.
Yeah, that's
They don't
true.
get it, man.
That's true.
You're just saying good things about Trump. No, you're losing, and you need to accept it. Otherwise, you will always lose. Talbot Box says, y'all talking butthead circles? Yes. Dark Renji says, have you heard about the amazing Lucas video saying you were wrong about the Aubrey case? I personally think so as well, but no one knows everything. Keep up the great content. Homie, appreciate it. I don't know anything about the amazing Lucas. I'm not sure who that is. But it's interesting to say, like, that I'm wrong about a case where I said we don't know the details and everyone should stop jumping the gun. It's like, are you arguing that we do know the
same
details?
Sentence. I agree. I want to know
New-
all the details.
New videos have just come out showing multiple people having trespassed on the property.
Yeah.
And now we know that the police had actually enlisted the support of that guy, the McMichael guy.
Really?
So yeah, when they come out and they say it's a lynching, and I'm like, that's not true because of this thing. How is that wrong? No, I'm completely right. Now, everything else around it, maybe murder, manslaughter, I don't know. I've never, I'll clarify now. My intent is not to say I definitively believe they will be charged with these things. My official position is I think it is unlikely a murder charge will stick.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, the court of public opinion forces it, which is possible. But if they were told by the cops to go help and the guy was given the phone number, I mean, they're going to argue to the court, well, the local police said they were trespassing, and then, we were told if we see the guy or something. So then what? Is it murder if the cops ask you to go and, try and stop a trespasser? It could still be, for sure. But, I mean, these complicate the narrative that it was
Definitely
these guys
does.
hunting somebody down.
Yeah.
Jeremiah says, seriously release Lose Yourself. I have had to make a permanent link to the Adamcast video where you premiered it due to people asking for it.
Oh, find yourself.
Find yourself.
Find yourself.
Lose yourself as Eminem.
Yeah.
Find yourself. Thank you. I will. I'm really trying to set up some stuff. Actually, Nisha's setting up the recording booth right now. Actually, in another area here. So it's
working on music.
possible actually that we can start cranking out some of our stuff.
'Cause
And
we
like
can-
a nice recorded version of it.
Yeah, we can just record whenever. But
Yeah.
for like the actual full instrument stuff.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Beta Fast Cheapa says, Tim, for God's sake, the I need a haircut signs are mocking the mayor who said she needed to go to her stylist because she's on TV and the face of the city. The signs should have had her picture. Yeah, okay, yeah. And people don't understand the context. So, but I'll also make this point. Someone saying they need a haircut is several orders of magnitude more important than someone saying, pay my rent for me. Like, one is saying the government should just take care of my bills.
Yeah.
Another person is saying,
Leave me alone.
minimum level of hygiene, please. So
Yeah.
even if it is about getting a haircut. Firefox says, I am having the grandest time pasting the Biden video of Truth Over Facts all over Twitter. The left is getting torn apart on their own platform, and they absolutely deserve it.
Truth.
Wilkins says, I tweeted to Elon, I'm 100% more likely to invest in or buy Tesla since he proved you can be pro-freedom, liberty, science, and environment while running a business and making a profit. The best red pill comes in Musk flavor. Then he tweeted it. Excellent.
How funny.
That is some truth right there, though.
There you go.
I love that. Great tweet at Elon. I like that a lot.
Sing Brother Heckler says, Tim, any comment on the FBI's other screw-up? Last week, FBI lawyers accidentally leaked the name of a Saudi official believed to have provided support to some of the 9/11 hijackers. I wonder if that was a screw up. I don't know. I don't have a comment on it for the most part. The Joker, thanks for joining. Drummer Et says, used to watch your vids to get through my workday. Now it gets me through unemployment. Ouch.
Oh,
Bummer.
man.
Well, hope things work out. Chuck Morris says the red pill is cherry, the blue is raspberry.
Oh,
I like
okay.
cherry.
I like that.
Mr. Paul R. I'm sorry, but the saucer near the Earth makes me think of the movie Mars Attacks. Lydia needs to sing Harmony on Friday gigs. Awesome singing. Fire.
Mars
Appreciate it.
Attacks is amazing.
Bloody Bleeder says, my conspiracy theory. Flat Earth is the greatest troll to prove how easy it is to dupe the public. Prove me wrong. Alan McGowan says, there is no belief in science. Science is a methodology, not an ideology. Anyone that says that is a charlatan. Hear, hear.
Yep.
Let's see. Balian, man, I'm having a hard time not switching to Jimmy Dore's live stream. Apparently, a new study shows marijuana helps prevent the Wu flu. But worry not, you guys are cooler. Oh, Jimmy's awesome, though. I like Jimmy. He's cool. This is really crazy. Jimmy Dore lived like 3 blocks away from me in Chicago.
Cool.
He's a lot older than I am. But it was funny. When I went on his show, we were talking and somehow it came up. And I was like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. And he's like, oh, yeah, where at? And I'm like, Midway area. And he goes, where at? And I'm like, by Vidham Park. And he goes, that's exactly where I lived. And I was like, no way. And he told me what block he lived on. And I was like, that was 3 blocks. It was not even 3 blocks. It was
cool.
like my house and then 1, 2, 3. And then he was like, it was like city blocks. I was like, whoa, he's a lot older than me.
Yeah.
So I was like a little kid when he left. But that's still crazy. It's like I skated at the park where he was. And that's nuts.
We are cooler. Thank you for
Maybe,
watching us.
but you know, while we do have very differing politics, we have very similar criticisms, and I wonder if that's because of where we're both from.
Maybe.
Because a lot of the stuff that Jimmy says is very similar to what I say about the establishment Democrats and how they're lying,
Like in
and
Chicago.
and I wonder if it has to do with being from Chicago.
It is pretty corrupt
Yeah.
there.
All right, let's see, where are we at? Rilo says, have you guys heard of the Brown Mountain Lights? Do you think ball lightning is real? If so, what conditions do you think cause it? Might help find it. I'm pretty sure ball lightning is real.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Ball
Yeah.
lightning is a thing. There's a video of it on that I've seen floating around.
It's just
Actually, I've seen a
unexplained.
few of them. No, I'm pretty sure it's explained also.
By what?
There's I don't have it on.
Oh,
I'm not a ball lightning
I thought
Yeah,
you
I'm
were
expert.
the expert.
I'm pretty sure
No.
ball lightning is just an extremely rare occurrence, but
Yeah,
it's been witnessed.
but I've
a
read
lot.
about it. And,
Yeah.
you know, I hear it's
All
a
right,
real
let's
thing.
see.
I don't know Brown Mountain Lights though.
We got a lot of super chats to get through. We got a bunch. So
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Jerome says, hey, Tim, a county judge in Oregon ruled the governor's orders unconstitutional and rendered then nullified and void. I heard about that. Crazy.
Yes.
Dope.
Liam says, I think Elon meant for the flower to stand for socialists as a group, as in take the red pill socialists. Maybe. Just wanted to give money. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't
I'll
think
take
he
it.
really knows, but whatever. It doesn't matter if the message worked, or it works for the red pill people. Patrick says, it would be great if communists and anarchists looked for red pill content. Everyone should challenge the approved narratives and their perspectives. 100%.
Everyone.
Chris Mayo says, why can't Dems see they will lose? I believe so, but
They're looking with their emotions, not logic.
right. So the segment I did today, basically 538 said, we might see a blue wave because of these 2 districts.
Okay.
After the Republicans crushed the Democrats, there are no articles where they're like, evidence confirms a red wave is coming. Their own logic, 538, suggests that because of the overperformance of Republicans, we should see a red wave.
Okay.
Because they argued, if we see Democrats overperform, it means a blue wave is coming. So when the Republicans win, why won't they now write about Republicans winning?
Because they don't want to put that out in the air.
Because when all of the media keep saying Democrats are going to win like they did in 2016, they're just trying to like goad their base on.
It's more like Democrats are going to win?
Right. Yep.
Very hopeful.
And then what happens is because the left sees all these articles, they look at my content like Tim is lying and he's just pandering to the right. And I'm like, I was correct though. I was correct. So we'll see if the red wave happens because I don't think I'm always right. I don't think I know the future. And I said, we might not see a red wave. We don't know. Yeah, I was wrong in 2018, but here's why I think we might actually see it this time.
Yep.
And then what happened in Wisconsin and California, 538 was wrong. I was right. Why doesn't Politico, why doesn't NPR, why doesn't USA Today write these articles saying because of those victories, we now see this, Republicans are going to win. It's like the narrative just disappears.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons they lose though, because they can't see it. And because they can't see it, they can't prepare for it.
Yep.
Mark Martinez says, Tim, You have become more reliable than the established news media. Haha. Totally not sorry. Haha. I mean, it's an opinion. I mean, I appreciate it. I just kind of do my thing. Sword Logic says, hello, Tim, Adam, and Lydia. I'd like to cover an upcoming major protest a little over a month from now. Never covered anything before. Do you have one fast piece of advice for a newbie? Thanks in advance. Get an external battery for your phone. That way you can charge your phone for the whole day. And they're not expensive, and they're little bars, and you put a USB stick, USB cord in it and plug your phone in.
Yep. And commit all the way.
Yeah.
Advice, yeah.
Post it.
Toto says, did you notice drop of likes on old videos? Many of your old videos I liked and returned to them and are no longer liked. P.S. Tesla looked better than... It's a Dakar emoji? I have not noticed that. Don't know. Eric Heffelfinger. Do you think they'll try what they did with Trump to the 2024 Republican candidate? I'd say they learned, but that seems impossible. I don't know if the Democratic establishment will make it until then. In 2024, I think they might not be around.
Oh.
Shun says, a certain Chan website should take the red rose and make it a hate symbol and see all the commies drop it. Twitter is a bubble and these Hollywood derps just gloat in it. Yeah. Chuck Morris says, avoid the purple or green pill. Soy bad. Talbot says, there are as many red pills as there are true truths. There are different red pill groups for different truths. The main covered one is the manosphere. Fresher Luke says, Tim, you should watch the documentary called The Red Pill by Cassie J. It'll give you the real answers behind the term. I'm familiar with it. David Prater, thanks for joining. Matthew Maddox, The Red Pill is overall manosphere stuff. The movie by that name is about men's rights, fathers' rights, and male victims of domestic violence. Pickup artists are part, but not the whole. Lieutenant Dan says, in Washington, some sue-happy Karen got the court to petition to recall a sheriff for upholding the Constitution and not arresting people for going out. Yikes. Daniel, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Talbot says, internet pills, red, blue, purple, black, clown. Clown pill. Honda Naut says, the pill lets you see through the lies of the Jedi. Michael says, Michael Malice's newest book is basically about the new right and red pilling. He has an awesome explanation of it. It's a great book, a must read. I've heard good things. Michael Malice is a cool dude. David Prater, do you think there will be a Trump running in 2024? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. There's a couple Republicans that have had, their names have been popping up, but we'll see. I think maybe a Don Jr., but I don't know. I really don't. Marshall Levine says, paying attention equals no pill needed. Yeah.
True that.
Hank Van Het Internet. Tim, the red pill meme stems from you calling out the Dems every day, yet leaning Democratic as if it does not matter. That's not necessarily, that's not fair. Okay, because I've made my point clear. How do we fix the Democratic Party? How do you have an eagle fly with one broken wing? People have to be willing to stand up and say, that's not the Democratic Party. We need to get rid of those people and support the Democrats that are doing the right thing.
Yeah, real Democrats.
But perhaps there's an argument that giving any of them support just reinforces all of them. And so what I've come to realize is that even if you find a good Democrat and support them, they're just going to fall in line behind Nancy Pelosi and try and impeach Trump.
Ugh.
Yep. So now it's not worth it. Jim says the greatest troll is the apocalyptic climate change. A majority think it's based on science. No, but it's used as a litmus test for science, Max Orwellian. Cord Funk says he has to be trolling. He's a smart dude. A reference to Elon Musk. Shun says, pronounced Shun. I will get it right next time. Also, I'm getting back to work. Woo! No more Commie Bucks demo for me. They did help out, though, but I don't want to be unable to buy things because inflation. It's time to open up and be safe. Hear, hear.
Truth.
Valley Cat says everyone just needs to stop taking pills. Drugs are bad, MK. Yeah. Student of history. For it's the end of history, it's caged and frozen. Still, there is no other pill to take, so swallow the one that makes you ill. Rage Against the Machine, right idea, wrong message if you ask me. Eric says The Red Pill by Cassie J. Curtis. Awoken is a species in destiny. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Jim, thanks for becoming a member.
Thanks, Jim.
Tristan says, here are some Trudeau monies. You guys are awesome. Trudeau monies.
Thank you.
Trudeau bucks. Too bad there is no podcast like this in Canada. You guys are truly unique. Keep it up, Beanie Gang. We will. Chuck Moore says, Tim has a specific set of skills. I actually have a wide range of weird half-baked skills, to be honest.
All the skills.
Zristifer says, leftist will tell any lie to vilify everyone else. By any means necessary means, by any means necessary, mean bad means too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Paul Barnes said, should politics be dictated by logic or emotion? If a combination, what determines the balance? A lean towards logic to protect the right emotion. Without emotion, we're robots and life is awful.
Exactly.
But if we only operate on emotion, then we die. We fall apart, and then it's suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Bleeder says, Tim, take the red pill equals recognize that there is a connection between Politico A, Journo B, Professor C, and Deep Stater D, E, F, G, H. Dominic says, what the red pill means to me, at least, is that you are rejecting NPC culture. You won't let the machine control you.
I like that.
Jim S. I appreciate your viewpoint. I watch Timcast News every day. Adam and Lydia are great additions in the evening. They certainly are.
Thank you.
Thomas says, FFS LOL. Incels are automatically alt-right when the only common denominator is that they're involuntarily celibate. Yeah, it's silly. Mark says, so China thinks
Sad.
it can bully us Aussies with tariffs, but forget that not even the Japanese could beat our troops in combat. We won't back down. We'll get our answers. Come at us, bro. We'll smash ya. The people who live in Australia deal with like hell beasts all day. So China trying to
In
push
all forms.
Yeah, seriously.
Flying on the ground,
in
slithering.
the water.
In their shoes.
Everything.
Sir Average Joe says, Adam, show Tim his Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
What?
There's a Pokemon that someone tweeted at me and it's totally you. I'll show you after the show. It's pretty hilarious.
Anita says, did you see the amazing Lucas video on you? I did not. To be honest, there's like 8,000 videos on me. I don't pay attention
Tim's
to.
very popular.
I don't pay attention to people making videos about me. I don't pay attention to people tweeting at me. Ben Weinstein says, TWU. W Ben and Iradesh and Paul, thanks for coming members.
Thank you all.
Jonathan says, a saying I always use is, so far left they renamed their right hand moderate. Yeah. Benito says, Sarah Manavis is real. She's on Twitter. Well, of course. We were kidding about her being a robot. Jessica says, take the red pill is analogous to the allegory of Plato's cave.
Of course,
Yeah.
if there was an AI that was trying to pretend to be real, they would make a Twitter account.
They would
Yes,
definitely
they
have
would.
and
Twitter.
tweet.
Right.
So, I mean, just saying. Just saying.
Artemis asks a question that isn't family friendly enough. So let's see if I can make it family friendly. They say, unrelated question. Death by rapid loss of hydration through the number 2, or I can't do it. Not
Can't
family
be
friendly
done.
enough. Sorry.
Yeah, how do you,
Sorry, dude.
I could read it. How do you change that?
You don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
don't
guess.
know.
Jason says, Elon Musk, take the red pill. Leftist journalist silently slips you the blue pill, which she adorably calls a bluefie. Yeah. Dragon, thanks for the
Nice.
super chat. Vasht says, I am GUR, you heathen. Imgur?
Imgur?
Dashy says, watch daily, thought I should join. Good work, Beanie Team. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Matt Hatter says, Adam, I literally just tweeted you an article that actually is written by an AI trained to act like Jennifer Rubin.
I saw that.
No
I had a chance
way.
to look
Oh,
at
where's
it.
my
It reads a
phone.
little weird, but still has the main talking points. That's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
For those that don't know, Jennifer Rubin
Oh,
is
man.
the perfect example of what like a grifter is, because no matter what happens, her opinion is always the opposite of whatever it is Trump is doing.
That's hilarious.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Ravenite says, question is, does Ivanka ever blink? Love you, Tim and crew. Truth over facts. Shun says, why are these people not making stories for movies and games if that's what they want to do over reporting news? These news outlets are utter trash because nobody will buy them.
True.
Janice Phillips, hey Tim, please check your DMs on FB and the links I've sent. I'd love to get your opinion as well as introduce you to an exciting new theory. I'll check it out.
Ooh.
Mitch says, I can't wait for Ben Shapiro's take. The truth doesn't care about your facts while playing the violin. Excellent. Hi there. Thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Benito says, the New York Times did an opinion piece, Believe All Women is a Right-Wing Trap by Susan Faludi. I didn't believe it. I had to look it up. Looks this up. Yeah, we do. We have it. We're going to do it
pulled
next.
up.
Artemis says, by the way, Lydia, you now have a bunch of dirty simps in the chat. Congratulations.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Gumbercules, thanks for joining.
Nice name. Thanks.
What is this? Kill Loot Improve says, Tim, you give me hope. Lydia, don't forget to red pill Tim's food. Adam, keep being awesome.
I don't
Thank you.
kill anyone's food.
I don't plan on changing.
Tom Koch says, Tim, I love your idea regarding fact-checking the media. I would point to the knife as an example. It was the same thing, but they went under because the parent company got caught in a cult scheme. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Nixium thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I interviewed those guys.
Yeah.
Some people from the knife. Logan Porter says, how is traveling cross-country in a lockdown? I'm going to be changing duty stations in a few months here and will most likely be driving. Any tips? We just stayed on the road, stopped for gas, and stayed on the road. And there was only a couple cities that were totally locked down in New Mexico. On the way back, everything seemed to be opening up. They didn't care about masks anymore. Only some places. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Jason says, supermodel saves puppy while skating. Hi, Lydia.
I was once, but no longer.
No.
Heavy Arm Sky says, we need soy Jesus on a t-shirt holding a kitten and puppy while riding a skateboard. I would buy that. Well, someone make a picture.
I like it. Let's see it.
Padre says, F in chat for Tim, too focused on your story that you don't go with Adam or Lydia's jokes. No, it's not even that. Yeah.
It does happen a lot. So thanks
I
for
try. Sometimes I get one in.
Fixie Clary says, far right adjacent, a pathetic attempt at guilt by association. Oh, yeah. Graboid says, lies. Adam saved a baby cat dog.
That's what
how
it was.
Cute. I love those things.
Yep. Cat
Stupid
dog.
Monkey says, what about partially center right? It's between center right and right. Well, yeah, there's a bunch of degrees, you know.
Semantics.
Chris Mayo says, the middle isn't lost, it's Trump. Kyle Harmon says, hydroxylic acid has a pH level of 7. That's higher than any other acid. Yep.
Nice.
True. Oh my gosh.
Travis says, do you think the left's aversion to meritocracy will be their undoing? Absolutely. Because if you prioritize feeling good over function, then eventually you don't function. Mike Depew says, do you all believe in free will? Why or not? Why or why not?
You're not the first to ask us this.
complicated
Kind of a
question.
long conversation.
But I believe-
we've had this conversation before. Someone hit this up like a month ago. Someone asked us about free will. We had a conversation about it.
The answer is yes, there is free will.
Agreed. That's what I believe.
But it's hard to know for sure, man.
Yep.
It's hard to know. I think because you can do things that have no legitimate purpose, it's an argument towards free will, but there's probably a lot of arguments against it.
Yeah.
But basically, if you really wanted to, you could take off all your clothes and run around the street hooting and screaming just for no reason of sound and sane mind.
Yep.
Why would you do something like that? You can choose to do it. It's devastating to your life, but you could if you wanted to.
If someone sees you, that's the trick, Tim. You got to do it at night when no one's there.
You know what the call
Not
of,
saying I've never done that, but
Do you know what the
I'm
call
not
of
saying
the
I
void
have
is?
done it.
The call of the void.
You know what the
Oh,
call
yeah.
of the void is?
That's why you want to jump in.
No,
call
I
of
don't.
void.
Are you
It's
going
when
to
you
tell
get
me?
it-
Or are you just going to keep
Yes.
asking me?
Well, you didn't say yes or no. It's when you get that feeling from standing at a high position where you want to jump
You're like, yep, this is it. I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
and you don't. But people like look over. It's
Free
called
will.
the call of the void.
It
Yeah, you
happens
could
to
if
a
you
lot of
want to, but
people,
people choose
yeah.
not to.
Ooh,
I like
scary.
that.
Yeah.
Zixi says, nah, he just have dementia. CND says, hey, Tim, thank you for all you do. I appreciate it, and I don't want you to stop doing it. It's great service for we the people. Thank you.
Agreed.
Mark G says, truth over facts. The thing wasn't a second declaration. It was the second Bill of Rights that legalized blackjack and the other thing. That's right.
Oh yeah.
the other
and
thing.
corn pop.
The Deli Uxie. You see the movie Shattered Glass? It's about a lying journo. Been a while since I've seen it, but I recommend based on what I remember. Cool. We'll check it out.
Seen it.
All Metal Mike says, I feel like I'm sitting at Wrigley Field talking to Ferris Bueller. Truth, while looking at a photo of the water tank saying, save Ferris, the MSM.
Nice.
Sean says, hey, Tim, have you ever tried Yu-Gi-Oh? If not, would you? No. I barely play Magic at this point. Didactics says, The Rational Male is a great book about men taking the red pill. That's more in line with the manosphere. Interesting. Ricky says, if Trump says smoking cigarettes is bad, the far left will defend smoking. Yes, they will. STIVU says, left is attacking Ivanka to prevent her presidency. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. First woman president Republican. Charlemagne says, check world politics. It's currently being rated by everyone. It's glorious. I did a video about it. Doom Dingus, thanks for the super chat. Sandwich, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Just wanted to hear you say it.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm really good at talking fast. Landon Hill says, hey, did you guys see Steven Crowder's Chinaman Mr. T skit? Also, they are doing a Dr. Zoidberg.
I
Cool.
haven't, no.
Oh, cool.
Kevin Moore says, Tim, when you read this, know I sent you an email about the website you are trying to build. I've already implemented a lot of fact-checking and cool concepts into a website you might want to check out. What is it?
Cool.
JornLR.com. Thanks. I will look for it. Nick says, shut up and take my money. Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
Sarah Dinian, what you're describing is something called deepfake methodology. James Lindsay wrote an article on it yesterday. Cool. Darth Sabi, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
STFU says, Red Pill was never about conservatism. It's about opening your eyes to the programming behind the institution. Jay Dore and Matt Taibbi are red-pilled liberals. Matt Taibbi, yeah, they're both really awesome. Both really awesome. D. Stoltenberg, I want nothing more than to take Adam out deer hunting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been.
Yeah.
I've been.
Tapio, thanks for the super chat. Sam says, Tim, I disagree with you on the quarantine arrests in Hawaii. This keeps happening because the locals don't want tourists ruining the easing of lockdown restrictions. Cases are single digits now. Graboid says, I disagree with you on a lot of stuff. Why would I like your videos if I literally watch almost all of them? I mainly watch this the next day. Oh, I guess you like it.
Yep.
Michael Cohen says Tim derangement syndrome. Oh yeah, definitely.
TDS.
Yep,
Love it.
TDS. Zach says, why don't you talk about the real news? Earth was passed over by the Galactic Federation for a spot on the board. Instead, they went for those dirty grays. Oh, the grays. Lieutenant Dan, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
St. Grizzly, how much money for the Timcast IRL without your beanie? 100, 500,
I think he
1,000.
I thought you actually. I think it was 20,000.
Yep,
Someone asked
20
you,
grand.
and you
Was
said
it?
20,000.
Yeah, it was
Seems
very,
low.
very, very high.
20,000?
Oh,
You
not
said
high
20
enough?
grand. You
Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
I'm revising that number.
And
Pray I don't revise it further.
No, revise it more.
so
What's
wait,
that-
what
what's
is
that-
it now? What is it now? 500,000.
500.
500,000.
Yeah.
Was that is that
Okay.
Darth Vader? I'm revising the terms of our deal. Pray I
They
don't.
don't
something-
alter
I
them
think-
Yeah,
further.
I,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think so.
awesome.
Further.
Yeah, that sounds like Darth.
The Red Bike Masters I'm watching now. Lydia, LOL. Grim Soul says my PSN friends have a thing where his pet is a god and we are his legion. Could you say praise be to Lord Mayo, the hairless guinea pig, and a shout out to them. Much love from California.
Lord Mayo. I love
Praise
it.
Guinea
be,
pig.
Lord
The
Mayo.
Woot Man. Brett W said they messaged you about it. They asked that you correct the record. It was about a Tim Pool video you released with a misleading title. I didn't receive an email or message from anybody. Brett has me on Twitter DM. I didn't get anything from anybody. Darth Soldier says Google Joe Biden Joe Biden and dog-faced pony soldier. Yeah, that's one of his famous weird lines no one understands. Casperius, I don't know about that other game, but I'm playing Monster Hunter World on PS4 when I listen to you guys. Great music stream on Friday, by the way.
Thank you. Word.
Andrew says Lil Marco replaced R. Burr as Senate Intelligence Committee head. Oh, yeah. Frantic Missy. Sam Tripoli from the Tinfoil Hat podcast has been banned from Twitter and demonetized on YouTube. Tim, can you provide some tips for his fans to fight his censorship on these platforms? I don't think there's anything you can do, to be honest. They've been doing this. This is why I have all my videos backed up on BitChute, because it's an automatic upload system. Russell says, spooky. Look up this on YouTube as predicted, and Plandemic Dead Zone's Plague Season 2. The Dead Zone episode is crazy. I'm not a fan of Plandemic. I think there's a lot wrong with it, and you got to be careful about when people can make videos that are appealing and well made. Documentaries can be misleading. Shun says Tim may be bald, but compensates with chest hair and good commentary. Soy Jesus and Sour Patch Lids, you guys are all awesome. No, I don't have chest hair either.
Thank you.
No, I'm Asian. Charles, thanks for the super chat. Vanessa Stoller, The Amazing Lucas and Viva Frey have a demographic of viewers. The Amazing Lucas was not disrespectful. He would be an awesome interview for you guys. Viva would be awesome too, but he's in Canada. Well, the lockdown has made it really impossible.
Yep.
Let's see. Vood says, if cops asking them to do so is true, that could possibly make them state actors, granting them substantial immunities and protections. That's in reference to the Ahmaud Arbery case when the cops actually enlisted the Arbery's. Andrew says, hearing that Senate Judiciary Committee will be voting on Obama and official subpoena. Multiple sources confirming. WAPO, Hill, Politico. Wow, I'll check it out. Andrew Reed says, hey guys, Mossy here. You guys should totally come down and jam at the farm if you're ever in East Tennessee. We'll record it and call it the Mushroom Sessions or some such nonsense.
That'd be fun.
Cool.
Thanks for the super chat, Joseph. All right, we definitely have to speed things up because we're going to go over and we've got one more segment. So I apologize if I don't see your super chat. Not Heisenbear says, Tim with Brett, he thought you would respond via tweet. It'll be fine. The beef was the video title. Prof says end lockdown, and you didn't respond via Twitter. I get probably 10,000 tweets at me every day. I can't even read them. But he has me on DM. You can just DM me. Brett, DM me. And let's see. James Wu says, good day, Mr. Poole. Did you look up the XYZ affair of 1778 to 79? Also, if anyone is interested in sports, I recommend the Houston Astros scandal of 2017. I'm a fan of two teams that have every right to be right to be angry at them. I didn't look it up. I will try. Can you write those down? Thank you. Jeff says, take the red pill and follow the white rabbit, Alice in Wonderland. Michael says, Tim, the red pill refers to the 2016 documentary by feminist Cassie J and her journey exploring half-truths and lies surrounding modern feminism and the men's rights activists. In this, she changes her views. But that was well after the establishment of the idea of the red pill. BB says, love you guys. Spin it. Thank you very much. You want to spin it?
Oh, the UFO.
Oh,
Get
cool.
it. You got
Let's
it.
go.
I'll blast it. It's loud.
I didn't even realize it wasn't spinning.
Greg Wolf says, hey, Tim, Brett Weinstein said on stream that you read a little too much into his latest tweet. He responded on his YouTube channel, posting here because I know you don't respond to Twitter much. Just an FYI. Will do. We will make that clear. Maybe we'll do something on it tomorrow and talk about it.
But that's literally what our show is. We read into things.
We're just
reading-
with our opinions.
But I think maybe it's that we read his one tweet
Uh-huh.
and the idea was something we had based on a bunch of other information, but his tweet kind of exemplified our idea.
Exactly.
Harry says, a new set, very cool. I figured we would be back to work in Los Angeles by now. Can we impeach Mayor Garcetti? You can. Let's see, where we got too many super chats come in. I appreciate it, but there's just too many.
Love you guys.
Chase and Richard, thanks for becoming members. Mark says, Brett said in his podcast he wants you to contact him. The Friday Night Jam was awesome. Next time you should cover Descending or The Grudge. Yeah, cool. Socks,
man.
thanks for joining.
I got to learn that. Well, we're not going to play any covers, though.
Yeah, we can. I don't
Yeah.
know if we can.
No, we're just going to play our own original music.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
It's
We did
better
it.
anyway.
We only played our own stuff, so.
Zixi says about China. As a former Chinese, the biggest issue, in my opinion, is the average Chinese have no idea of individual liberty, only seeing the average men to be controlled by those ruled and only obeying them. They grew up with it. It's the part of the culture. Mark says, me father-in-law went to get his slippers and found a redback spider sitting in its web between the slippers. They had dogs that would eat blue-tongue lizards that entered the backyard, causing seizures. Oh,
my gosh.
Yikes.
Welcome to Australia.
Ted says, Lydia, you're in good company. Stephen in the book of Acts was basically a supporter and promoted to apostle, then decapitated. Maybe too much info.
I don't want to be decapitated.
The Moral Gray, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Rolo says, Tim, let's get on a show this week and talk about what the red pill really is. I'm the author of The Rational Male. Send me an email or reach out to Adam as well. Fixie, thanks for joining. Yeah, Adam's, you can follow Adam at Adam Krigler. And let's see, RJ, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
And now we need to get this last segment, man.
I really want to
The
talk
creepy,
about this.
crazy fake news of the New York Times.
This is crazy.
Let's do it.
Believe all women is a right-wing trap. How feminists got stuck answering for a canard. I should have known it was the far right.
Come on.
No one ever said that we should believe all women. How absurd. That's actually not true. Boy, do I have a ton of stories. Here's one from NPR, February 6th. Believe all women. That's been the rallying cry of the Me Too movement. Oh, here's something from National Post. Inside the, quote, believe all women refrain has become the unquestionable undercurrent to the Me Too movement. Yeah, you get it. It's everywhere. We believe all survivors. All right. Now let's see the lie they try and push forward. They mention that Joe Biden has been accused, but we'll just jump down. A woman with no corroboration beyond contemporaneous accounts charges a powerful man with a decades-old crime. Doesn't that sound mighty close to Christine Blasey Ford's complaint against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh? Yes.
Yes, it
yes,
does.
it does. Wait, that's the problem.
They start this. They start the article
It's a
by
strong
shooting
start,
themselves in
and
the
I
foot.
love it.
What?
Let's
Yeah.
see
Go
where
ahead,
this
keep reading.
goes.
Yeah, well, no, they're
This is
trying to
ridiculous.
deflect. They're trying to deflect
Oh.
by flipping the narrative now.
Right.
You've got to have the memory of a goldfish to
Yep.
fall for this stuff, but people do. Here's what it says. Yet this time, many liberals who've championed the Me Too movement seem skeptical. Gotcha. Tim Graham, executive editor of Newsbusters. Where is the Me Too movement on this story? What happened to their rigid believe all women boilerplate? Fox News host Tucker Carlson. The infuriating, the sickening hypocrisy of the media and the professional feminist movement. Believe all women. No, they don't. White House advisor Kellyanne Conway. 3 magic words. Believe all women. I didn't hear an asterisk. I didn't see a footnote. Believe all women so long as they are attacking somebody aligned with President Trump. Believe all women so long as they have a college degree or better or are for abortion in the 9th month. Wow, Kellyanne, spicy. In fact, quote, believe all women does have an asterisk. It's never been feminist boilerplate. What we are witnessing is another instance of the right decrying what it imagines the American women's movement to be. Spend some mind-numbing hours tracking the origins of believe all women on social media sites and news databases, as I did, and you'll discover how language, like a virus, can mutate overnight. All of a sudden, yesterday's quotes suffer the insertion of some foreign DNA that makes them easy to weaponize. In this case, the foreign intrusion is the word all. That proves it.
Ooh.
Wow.
She said it because
That's
she
it.
read the news. I read the news too, lady. Check this out. NPR, believe all women. That's been the rallying cry of the Me Too movement. Yeah, it was. They were all saying it. We didn't make this up. You guys made this up. It was your phrase.
Yep.
And now it's, oh, okay. All insertion was all the rage during the Kavanaugh hearings. No, the NPR story from February 2018 is well before Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh was what, October 2018?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, in the
So
autumn.
no, I'm sorry, that is not the case. All right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, can you look,
Yeah,
look,
let me
let's get the correct date,
Let me
because I'm allowed. I can be wrong. I'm not perfect.
Let's see.
Let's see. It was all the rage during the Kavanaugh hearings when Senators Kamala Harris to Mazie Hirono had their regard for for Dr. Blasie's credibility elevated by Fox News pundits to universal gender credulity. Their actual words, "I believe her," became "believe all women." So what was the date on Kavanaugh?
That was September 2018.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what's this story from the National Post? What's the date on this one? February 6th, 2018, the National Post. Indeed, the believe all women refrain has become the unquestionable undercurrent to the Me Too movement. Wow, that's well before Brett Kavanaugh.
It even predated Kavanaugh. That's interesting. I'm glad she brought
This
that
is
up.
called media gaslighting.
Yep.
You know what gaslighting is, Adam?
Enlighten us, Tim.
Gaslighting is when they try to make you think you're crazy, or they just present fake facts to rewrite history. This is what the New York Times is trying to do. No, we never said believe all women. We're infallible. It's you who's wrong. It's the right who did this.
Yeah, so you're technically correct. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic where they sow seeds of doubt covertly in a targeted individual, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's what they do. The media does this. And like I said, if you've got the memory of a goldfish, you'd fall for it. I don't. I was like, nah, I remember people saying believe all women. So I looked it up, and sure enough, this claim, fact check, false. The Me Too, at the bare minimum, if you want to argue about the origins of believe all women, where this is a lady, right, who's writing this story?
No doubt.
Susan, that's right.
Of course.
Her argument is that she looked up news archives to find the origin, and it was the right who injected all and changed the phrase. Okay, well then you're ignoring NPR and the National Post.
That's far right.
Here's what she says. The all was injected. I believe her became believe all women. That's literally the hashtag former Fox News contributor Morgan Ortagus said in February 2019. There's a great search function on Twitter, and you can search the hashtag believe all women. For those of you who don't believe, that's what the Democrats had in the case of Kavanaugh. Is there literally a hashtag? Well, kind of. No, there
Nope,
is.
There either is or there isn't. That's what literally means. It's great.
Meaningfully tracking hashtags on Twitter is a confounding chore. Even the professional data scrapers I consulted. It's a very interesting rabbit hole. Pablo Morales Henry, digital archivist at Harvard University's Schlesinger Library, which maintains a collection of more than 30 million Me Too-related tweets, told me. Nevertheless, let's take the Ortagus challenge. As she noted, Twitter's a search function that, while hardly great, does at least crudely reflect the site's use, especially by its most popular users who are most likely to spread a hashtag far and wide. For instance, type in Black Lives Matter, Make America Great Again, and you get bottomless well of references. Type in Believe All Women for 2017, when the Me Too movement took off in October, and you get several dozen references, followed in 2018, the year of the Kavanaugh hearings, by many more. But here's the thing. I've found that the hashtag is by a wide margin used mostly by its detractors. Except the Me Too movement started around October 2017. In about 5 months, NPR, the National Post, and many other outlets were saying, quote, believe all women is the rallying cry of the Me Too movement. So what's your point? Detractors started hearing that and started criticizing it, and many people criticized it. It sounds like your only argument is that you were wrong, not that that's not what the feminists were actually saying. Simply because you were being criticized by people for saying believe all women doesn't mean that the right invented it. It seems that Believe All Women first appeared on Twitter in late 2014 in 3 tweets by an Ontario midwife, a Toronto educator, and a lifelong learner, and Jenna and Kayla, twins from Ottawa, who plan events in their spare time, combined following fewer than 4,000 followers. Then in the fall of 2015, in 2014, I see. Hillary Clinton posted a tweet. To every survivor of assault, you have the right to be heard. You have the right to be believed. To which Juanita Broderick, who alleges that Bill Clinton raped her in 1978, responded on Twitter, Hillary tried to silence me. Okay. Conservative editor David French, who has a large following, retweeted Miss Broderick at once, attaching the hashtag Believe All Women, followed by 4 question marks. The breath was on the ember. Where is the Believe All Women crowd on this? Believe all women unless the case damages the leftist narrative, blah, blah, blah. As it happens, the canard blown into the bonfire by the right became accepted truth in mainstream media, from NPR to the New York Times to the Globe and Mail in Canada, with pronouncements characterizing Believe All Women as the rallying cry of the Me Too movement. the order of the day, and a formula for miscarriage of justice, if ever there was one. But hold on. Didn't she earlier just say it was all the rage during Kavanaugh?
Is she trying to convince us that this is the alt-right thing, or
That's like
the Democrats like it's basically like she's explaining where are the Democrats now, now that Biden's up on the chopping block. It's like, where are the Democrats? That's what I'm seeing. It feels like she's a Republican going, where are all the Democrats now? Where are you guys at? Why aren't you believe in all women now?
I'll tell you what she's saying.
It doesn't make sense.
Perhaps it's true that believe all women was first a hyperbolic criticism of the left.
Okay,
I'll accept that. That means the left championed a movement that was created in jest to criticize them, and they didn't realize it and started running around screaming something that was created to mock them.
Ah, okay.
Is that what she's arguing?
Maybe.
Am I wrong about that? That sounds like what she's saying, right?
That sounds right to me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just
Well, let's read how she ends this.
just listening.
What is this? You know what I
Sure.
can't stand about a lot of these journalists? How they don't write conclusions. It's like, do you know how to write? So let's just jump back. She says, the preferred... Wait. This is why the preferred hashtag to the Me Too movement is believe women. Okay, you know what? I'm done reading this.
Thank you.
It's clear.
Thank you.
It's clear
Okay.
what she's trying to do.
I'm over it too.
Bye.
Whether or not anyone created the Me Too movement in the media, you mean to tell me that NPR's... Who is this? Elsa Chang. I believe that's a female.
That sounds like a girl to me.
She didn't know what Believe All Women was or where it came from.
That's kind of condescending. I'd assume
I
she
think
would
what
know.
we can and I think the National Post is written by a dude. This is written by Joe O'Connor. Then we have this: We believe all survivors. Look at this. Protesters march around the Capitol to the steps of the Supreme Court. Undeterred by rain and cold, some had posters that read, "We believe all survivors." Others stood in silence outside Dirksen Senate office building with the words "Believe women" written on their hands. We believe her. So perhaps it's fair to say, and this is during the Kavanaugh, that believe women was, and believe all women was, maybe a combination. If that's the case, fine, so be it. But it is true that protesters had been saying, believe all survivors, we believe all women. So I suppose it's possible that the left is so unable to understand their own causes. When conservatives criticized them, they assumed that was their actual cause and then championed it and went out protesting, saying we believe all survivors. That's not a good narrative to entertain.
That's
You're
really
right.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
Yep,
it is.
Agreed.
Dang.
Apparently, that's the argument, I guess. No, we were tricked. I guess you were.
Foolish.
So I think the interesting thing is, it's definitely not a right-wing trap.
Not at all.
If the argument is that one guy said "believe all women?" ? And that sparked the hashtag "believe all women," for which the left picked up and used, no one said a trap. They were criticizing you, and you didn't realize it,
And you rolled with it.
and you rolled with it.
Oof.
Yep.
Well-
It's even worse.
I know that makes it worse.
Oh man.
This is just one of the stupidest things I've ever read.
Yeah, I read that title and I was laughing, and now that we've gone through it, it's not even funny anymore. It's
Cringeworthy.
sad.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of writing to try and erase what believe all women was and what the activists were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like even you know what, I'll be fair and say, my initial assumption was that believe all women was sparked by, actually, does she mention, she says 3 years ago, was it, let's see, where is it? Here we go. 2014, 3 tweets. Did they actually, they did. Okay. Believe all women. It was not started by the right. She actually admits it.
yeah.
It was originally started by some small Twitter accounts, and she tries downplaying their following to make it seem like it wasn't made by them. Toronto educator. And then someone took that and used it against them. I think this story is stupid.
Who is she trying to convince?
I
Right.
don't know.
I think
The
she's
story's
trying to
dumb.
convince herself.
It's dumb. She's dumb. He
Everything's
is
dumb.
I feel stupider having read it.
Yeah, I lost some IQ points.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to this.
Yeah, I'm normally all jolly and smiles. I'm sad
Took it out of
and
me.
bummed.
All right, well,
this is just
I'll-
a depressing article.
I'll conclude by saying
Ugh.
it is a sad and desperate attempt.
Yeah.
It just makes them look stupider. But it is just one opinion piece by one person. So
That's true.
fine. I think this is just, it's not indicative, or representative of anything other than this one person's desperate attempt to blame the right for something they didn't do. But that's
so
good
glad-
enough for
I'm
me.
so
I'm
glad that's over.
it's such a
We
stupid story.
survived.
Yeah, that
Thank
was
goodness.
bad.
I'm actually upset having actually done the segment on it now, having read it.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's good. Okay, here's why. Here's why I think it's good. Okay, we're gonna look on the bright side here.
Go
of
on,
Lydia.
please try.
So I think that her showing us that she thinks that we're all super freaking forgetful and stupid is really illuminating, because that's what they think of us all the time. It just came out in this article. That's good to know. I appreciate it. What can I say?
Well, there you go. Hey, how about that? All right. Well, we've gone a few minutes over.
We have.
So here's what we're going to do. We are going to grab the last few super chats. If you haven't
do it.
already, mash that like button. Just smash it. Bang your keyboard. No, don't do that.
No.
I don't want to be liable for your broken keyboards. Hit the like button and hop in the super chat for the last opportunity. We'll be reading through the final few super chats.
Super chats.
Don't forget,
Yes.
follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And on Twitter, I'm usually just complaining about something. Instagram's pictures of cats and skateboarding, I guess.
True.
But if you
I
follow,
post space stuff.
Yeah.
if you follow Adam, you can send him stories that we then
Yes.
talk about on this show.
Yeah, I always have a pinned tweet, and it's usually give me ideas.
Excellent.
Yep.
And then he has the arduous task of going through it and people sending him pictures of dogs and cats, but then finding that diamond in the rough.
Sadly, no. No one
I'm
sends
kidding.
me pictures of dogs and cats.
Y'all need to get
Now
on
they're
that.
going to.
Yeah.
You can, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it'll just make it harder to find the news.
All right, let's read these last
That's
few
right.
super chats for all of you people hanging out. Thanks for joining the Moral Grade.
Thank you.
Rilo says, Georgia Guidestones are real. They are pretty mysterious, though. I got to touch them this weekend. That's cool.
Kind of weird.
Oh, yeah. Someone tweeted at me. I wonder if it's Rilo. I'm not sure. But I saw pictures. It's cool.
Mark Robertshaw says, used to go bushwalk and find hundreds of kangaroos. There's a crazy video on Reddit of a kangaroo banging on the glass.
Okay.
And they look like they're
they're
jacked,
those,
dude.
those guys
Oh,
are
man,
swole.
those things
dude.
are
Whoa, he's got
scary.
huge claws and he's like banging
I
on the
would
glass.
not want to mess
Ooh.
with one of those.
No.
Scary.
Nope.
Crazy.
I'm good.
I think I already said this, but Fixie, thanks for joining.
Thank you. You didn't.
John Fanny says, looking for an intern. Unfortunately, I am not. Mark Robertshaw says, Ivanka 2024, first female president. It's possible. Rebel says, we're patiently waiting on Tim to take the red pill, come to the dark side, in Darth Vader's voice. Gifted Ruler says, Tim, I love you, brother, but just be bald at 70 degrees out. Just shave your head and move on. It's a branding thing. It is who I am. We're the Beanie Club.
The beanie.
I wear the
beanie,
beanie.
the
gang,
Beanie
yeah.
Bros.
I can't read the Japanese letters. Can you and Sargon of Akkad do a baking stream together and call it Biscuits and Beanies? I'd love to. He's
would like that.
Pretty good.
If he comes down
He
to
needs
the,
to
That's
come over
pretty
here.
good.
if he comes
That's good.
stateside.
I like it.
Come on, Sargon.
The Moral Gray says, so Tim, you have talked before about not being atheist exactly or believing in something. Can you elaborate, or is it you know the thing? You know the thing.
You know that thing.
That thing.
I believe in God, but the challenge with explaining to someone the belief in God is that most people's understanding of God is really, really rudimentary, and you either have this like, you know, what do people do? Like Family Guy, like God is a guy with a white beard.
Yeah.
It's like that is absolutely not what I think, not what I feel, not what I believe. But when you try and explain people about God, they just assume a theistic religion, or they assume some like anthropomorphized version of what God is. I wouldn't be able to explain it. The easy way to explain it is I do not believe in theistic religions, books, Bibles, or anything like that. But I do believe that there is something more powerful and greater that is, in a sense, responsible, but for existence. But I say that with a but. We are much too feeble-minded to comprehend beyond what our existence is. So I certainly think there is something above and beyond us we can't experience or understand that is responsible for what we do and, you know, all that stuff. It's much, much more complicated than that, and it would take a very, very long time to explain.
There
which I
it
can't
is.
It is, in fact, complicated.
No, it's beyond complicated.
Yeah, it's way
It
over.
is. It is literally trying to take a gigantic ball of like this massive sphere, and then like imagine you have like 8 miles of yarn, and you can pull out the yarn very slowly to give to somebody. It would take forever for them to get the full thing.
Yeah.
That's the challenge with it.
I might actually have 8
Simple
miles
thing,
of
you know.
yarn.
Maybe that was the best way I could have explained it. Octavio says, "Can you do a stream with Luke Rudkowski?" I have before, and you know, yeah, a lot actually. We've done a ton of videos together. RJ, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Non-Servium says, there's a book called The Prince Principle that covers the Kavanaugh hearings very well. Cool. Stealth Creation says, I question whether red pill has the same meaning with Ivanka as with the right. It wasn't too long ago she and Kushner pushed for more immigration and courted Merkel, who champions blue pilling. I don't think she knows what it means. Make station wagons great again. Your van sucks. Get yourself a station wagon. Will do. Lord Everlost,
I
thanks for
kind of
joining.
have a station wagon.
Yeah, well, you got an SUV. Come on. It's
Well,
manlier than a station wagon.
I don't know. It's kind of it's a Subaru
It's kind of.
station wagon kind of.
Greg Wolf says the blue pill is a suppository. It comes with lube. Thank you for that. To be fair, says, the real story is that there was no unmasking request on December 29th, the day of the Flynn phone call to the Russian ambassador. Interesting. Wolfalt de Leon. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. Only then will people find the will to change. Q. What if Q is real and refuse to look? Do you not stand against that the most? I know that there is a whole bunch of stuff that people claimed was true and it wasn't true, but for some reason there's, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Mr. Schwagen says, if a doctor has to carry malpractice insurance for saving lives, why don't police have to carry malpractice of justice insurance? This way the taxpayers no longer pay for bad apples and the private market weeds them out quickly. I agree. That
I
sounds
kind
like
of
a good
like
idea.
that. That is
Yeah.
a good idea.
Very good idea. I like it.
Sat says, what will happen to the reps post-Trump? I don't know.
I don't know.
Jim says, thanks for covering what most of the media won't cover and for your centrist position on most subjects. No problemo. Justin McCormick says, evening guys, just turned in and not sure if you talked about it yet, but did you hear Governor Newsom finally loosen the requirements to reopen CA? Was a breath of fresh air for me. Love what you do. Cool. Glad to hear it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Mojo says, you should see if you can hang out with Donut Operator in his skate shop and go down to the shooting range to try more guns. Is a skate shop? I didn't know they had a skate shop. I know he skated.
And a gun range? That sounds like a cool place to hang
Yeah.
out.
I'll look. I will check him out.
Perfection.
Shun says, Beaniesaurus Rex beanies, because dinosaurs are awesome. Also a soy Jesus beanie with Adam's face on it.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
Both good things.
Cord Funk says, the blue pill is Viagra. Had to be done. I mean, some people like Viagra.
And that's how we'll end the show.
We're ending the show there on a high
Yes.
note. Thank
On a
you
very
all
high
so
note.
much for that. Oh, we got one more.
Oh, no.
JW Breezil says, for Susan, keep rocking the beanie. Will do. Appreciate it all so much. Again, make sure you follow Adam at Adam Krigler and send him story ideas.
Yes.
That way I don't have to do any work. It's so much easier when I just get down and I'm like, let's do the show. Adam, what did the other people do? What stories to send you?
And this is how it goes every day. I'm like, well, there's this. Oh, no, I did that. Oh, there's this. Oh,
Oh,
well,
we did that?
we did that already.
Oh.
Or, well, what about this? And it's like, nah, I did that already. It's like,
But then there'll be one like, did you hear about this? And I'll be like, that's cool.
That is cool.
And then
it's
we pull it
true.
in.
And
Oh, yeah.
that has happened a couple times already.
And it's the greatest thing when I can be like, Adam's got 800 stories from all the people who recommended stuff. And I'm like, cool, I thought these are cool ideas. It
Yeah.
also helps us get away from a lot of the like really boring like headline news
Yep.
we avoid. The Elon Musk thing was a big story, but it was fun. You
Yeah.
know?
Super fun.
So anyway, send us story ideas. Make sure to follow me if you want pictures of cats and skateboarding and
Yes.
stuff, or you want to hear me complain on Twitter. And stick around because we will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. on this channel live. Hit that like button. Everybody just mash it before you go. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Adios.
Bye, guys.